whipping? That's all they get after what they've done?
It was a matter of honor.
They're paying $1,000 to whatever kills the two boys that cut up Delilah.
In a time when lawmen were killers.
You English, Bob?
Outlaws were heroes, and a bad reputation was as good as gold.
You're calling yourself Mr. William Munny.
Say what?
You don't look no mean or cold-blooded damn killer.
I ain't like that anymore, kid.
$1,000 reward, Will.
So you still have that Spencer rifle, huh? Yeah. Just because we're going on this killing, that don't mean I'm gonna go back to being the way I was.
Are you really gonna kill them cowboys?
I do not like assassins. We ain't bad men no more. We're farmers.
Assassins!
Some legends will never be forgotten.
Any man don't want to get killed. Better clear on out the back.
Unforgiven.
Oh, hello, cowfolk. I can't do a Clint Eastwood impersonation. Jesus, that's terrible. Anybody sound
gravel?
Like? Is any? I was gonna. Hello. Oh,
Get off my
welcome.
dick.
Get off my. Why are people getting on dicks in the first place? Whitey? God.
The fuck?
You're ready to die.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's about a typical MMM start to a show. How is everybody doing? We are back. I was absent last week, but Vex and the gang did a fantastic job hosting for me. It was a fantastic show. Doing Deadpool, thank you all. And I don't know if this happened last week because I didn't catch all of it, but I want to officially welcome the Gord King to MMM as an official host. I'm sorry, Gord. We suckered you in. Now you can never leave.
That's right. Never leave. And I guess to celebrate, I put the cannoli cowboy on the Velocipaster.
Yes.
There we go.
By the way, this is absolutely fantastic.
Honestly, the dinosaur was not a prompt I entered. It came about naturally, and that's why I started laughing backstage. And I was like, I don't need to change a thing about that picture.
No,
that's
that
amazing.
Is absolutely fantastic. Okay, I know all the talk's been about Deadpool. Of course, Vex just did Deadpool and Wolverine. Vex had a great video. I think she put the link in here. Put it in again, of course. We'll and go watch that after the show. Leave comments, support her because it's fantastic as usual. But we're changing course. We're doing a Western. It's been a while. I think last one was Tombstone, if I'm not mistaken. So we decided let's go back to the West. Let's pick a classic. Yeah. And that is Unforgiven. Clint Eastwood, one of his best movies. One of the best movies, period.
Yeah. Coincidentally, we are doing this almost on the 32nd anniversary of this film.
Nice. Isn't that why we chose it? Or did we just pick it because it's
we just wanted to do Unforgiven.
Yeah, I hear you. And yeah, this what we were talking about this backstage. There's a massive contrast coming home Saturday after Deadpool and Wolverine, just going crazy talking about that and having to get into the mindset of the West. So what I did is I played a little Red Dead 2, got in that mindset, watched the movie, and I was in. And a lot of inspiration from Red Dead 2 from this movie, actually, which may or may not pop up in the trivia, but we'll get into that. I'm going to welcome.
So you can mention it now if you want, or later.
Well, yeah, well, let's just say there was a lot of inspiration. Thank you, lovely chat, for everybody showing up. Let's get to our panel real quick. Gooch, Gooch is spreading, and it's spreading thick and everywhere. It's all over the internet. How you doing, Gooch?
I'm good. I'm not spreading, but I'm
something spreading.
Presenting. But that we'll use the classy term.
I always love being on here with you guys. You know that. And this movie is like top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Easily.
It's so damn good.
Yeah. It is a classic, and rewatching it, just man, it's so well done. The Eclectic Goat, welcome back to the show, and I know you were excited for this movie, but it's a classic, and I'm glad you're here to join us to talk about it.
I was excited to talk about it, and then I watched it and discovered something really interesting.
Ooh.
So I was excited to talk about it because when I was young, I watched a lot of movies, Westerns, with my grandfather.
Sure.
And it was the one time I was allowed to stay up late, and it was the one time I was allowed to watch violent movies. And Unforgiven and The Magnificent Seven were his favorite Westerns.
Nice.
And so I was really excited to watch this kind of in his memory.
Nice.
And then I watched it and realized I never saw this one with him. So actually,
whoops.
as soon as I got to the knife section, I was like, nope, I was 11. He never would have let me see this.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally get it. It's
So I actually got to watch it for the first time and just kind of like think about him instead. So it became,
awesome.
Great for a whole nother reason.
Well, I'm glad you're here to talk about it, of course. And then we got True Pop from all the way on the other side of the pond. Like, Unforgiven, when he chose it, I was like, wow, man. A young kid watching a Western. Welcome to the show and welcome back, buddy.
No, thank you for having me. I managed to get a good bit of sleep before the show, so I'm definitely active, much more energetic. Unforgiven. Fantastic movie. Probably a great deconstruction of Western movies in general.
Yeah, I agree.
Keen to get to it. This is one of the goats.
Yes.
Might be one of... Is it Clint Eastwood's best movie? Not too sure.
Tough call.
It's definitely top 5.
Yeah, it's definitely up there, I think. Yeah.
He's got a lot of good Westerns.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's...
A lot of good movies in general, but Westerns in particular.
And then we have White Bear, who may or may not said he might have showed his nipple during the stream. I don't know. He told me that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but Whitey, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Better than I deserved. Yeah, I did really enjoy this movie, and I find it to be hilarious that he's the only person to lose his black friend in the whole desert. So he permanently lost his N-word card. That's the story to me. So
awesome. Vex, a fan of the Western, of course, and I'm glad you were able to make it after a long weekend. I appreciate you, of course, and yeah. It's a great movie, isn't it, Vex? It really is.
I didn't get to fully do my rewatch, so it's actually been a very long
I was
time.
giving you.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy to be here. Love Clint Eastwood.
That sounded convincing.
I totally let him be my baby daddy.
Wow.
Real talk. But yeah, no,
Wow.
This movie from memory, I really love it.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I just wish I'd gotten to fully rewatch it beforehand, but
that's okay.
Yeah, still
we'll
love
go
it.
through it. And maybe it'll bring back some of those memories for you of the movie. We'll be and then Gore King, what a beautiful pleasure it is to say welcome. And I don't have to introduce you anymore because you're a pain in the... No, I'm just kidding. Welcome back to the show. Gord, 2 weeks in a row and you're still alive. So you've made it through the initiation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a couple weeks before that not being official, I've been here all July.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, we're like, fuck it, let's just make him permanent. This is bullshit. Yes. So I'll start with you, Gooch, real quick, and then we'll get into the scrubbing. This is from 1992, right? So men of our age, when did you first see this movie?
Yeah, I saw this in the theater. I'm a huge Gene Hackman fan, and so he ever since French Connection, Hoosiers, and there's just so many films he's been in that are just fantastic. Yeah, I like early '90s had so many great films.
Yeah.
And this is like this. I love this right off the get go. Probably, I would definitely put this top 5 for all time for me.
Yeah,
because it just pulls you into that time era. It was like it does it so well. Yeah, I remember seeing it in the theater. I think it was on a date actually. I can't remember.
Ooh.
Was she very
but-
unforgiving when you took her to this?
There's where the get off my dick comes from.
I was going to say, this was not a first date, right? Because this is not a first date movie.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was. I think I had a girlfriend at that time.
Really?
I can't remember. There's,
It definitely sets you up for a guy named Gooch.
I could just see Gooch
Yeah.
telling her, I'm not going to go back to my old ways, woman. It's like, I love you, Gooch. Did you show her?
No,
the
I
Gooch
loved it. I
movie?
loved it right away when I saw it. I loved
Yeah.
it right away.
Yeah. It's a great movie. It's absolutely fantastic. I know the Eclectic Goat, you were saying you just watched it for the first time, so that's interesting, but I'm glad you got to, and of course we'll get your thoughts as we scrub through the movie. True Pop, what about you, man? I think you might be the youngest person here, so how did you even know about this movie?
I think, from what I remember, it was recommended to me by someone who I can't exactly remember. And yeah, I watched it, and to be honest with you, I don't remember enjoying it on my first watch through.
Gotcha.
Not really all that entertained by it. I would describe it to watching Blade Runner. Like in the moment on your first watch, you don't particularly get hooked into it, but then you think about it. Then you hear other people's analysis or my favorite YouTuber Mola talking about it, and you think to yourself, holy hell, this is actually some pretty good shit. And you can't help but look favorably back on it. I don't know if that happens for anyone else, like kind of watch a movie, be bored by it, and then kind of usually it's the opposite way around. Wolverine and Deadpool. But with this, I just think, well, damn, this is a pretty good movie. This is pretty solid. And yeah, that's the extent that I watched it, I suppose.
Sweet. White Bear, did you play this movie out on that land that you have? Did you ride horses and pretend you were Clint Eastwood? But who was your Morgan Freeman is what I want to know.
I don't know, but he's dead too. But I had never actually seen this movie all the way through, and I remember back when we were reviewing, I think Tombstone, it was recommended to me. I think it's been recommended. What?
What? I just said it wasn't just me.
Oh yeah. Right. You're good. So like, so I'd only seen bits and pieces of this. All I remembered was Gene Hackman being a dick face, and I was like, he's still a dick face, but he's such a good actor. Then seeing the cast for this, and you got freaking Dumbledore in here,
right?
It was great. It was freaking great. So getting to finally see it all the way through, I'm like, I am super surprised by how it turned out.
Yeah, it's fantastic. What about you, Faye?
Huh?
Sorry. What about you? When's the first time do you remember seeing this movie? It's been a while.
I remember seeing this as a kid because my dad also really loves Westerns, and he's the reason that I do enjoy the genre. But yeah, I remember I must have been because I was only born in '91. Sorry. So I would have been like.
Thank you.
Why didn't you come out sooner? Gosh.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Wow. Oh yeah. By the way, I'm much younger than you. Yeah, you old fucker. So.
So yeah, I must have been 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere around there when I first saw it, and then I watched it again in high school just because that's when I started really getting into film, just in general. And I really liked it then. And it's I don't know why, but it's not one of those movies that you can casually turn on. I think that's why I haven't thought about revisiting it or rewatching it. It's one of those movies where once you turn it on, your 2 hours is up, man. You're not doing anything else. It sucks you in and it keeps you there.
Suck zone, baby.
The suck
exact
zone.
suck zone. Yep.
We're in the suck zone. What about you, Pumpkin Lord? What about you? When was the first time you saw this?
I saw this for the first time in the early 2010s. Actually, it took me a little while. It started with 310 to Yuma, and I got on kind of a big Western kick where I just started
Good
to
movie.
absorb all these Western films. Yeah, I love 310 to Yuma. It's one of my favorites.
movie.
But this one came in line with some of the other Eastwood Westerns like High Plains Drifter and Pale Rider and the Dollars Trilogy. And Unforgiven was, it took me aback because it's a different kind of Western. It's different at structure. And then you get to the ending, and I think it's the greatest ending to a Western ever. I absolutely adore the ending to this film, but the more I watch it, the more just emotionally and thematically resonant it gets. It's such a powerful film. I really love this movie.
It's fantastic. And oh man, like I said, what a contrast watching this from Deadpool, but I love how it's, people, there was a lot of people I was reading old reviews saying it was boring, it was slow. And I'm like, yeah, but it's intentional, but it's not bad slow. It's just again, what do we always talk about when we do these shows usually is that if you could do great character building in the first 5 minutes of your movie, it goes a long way. And this immediately, just the opening with the scroll that comes up and explains what happened to his wife, what he's doing in this shot here. It's like, it's fantastic. It sets the whole movie up already immediately. And
it's just a simple couple of lines that says so much.
And the movie looks beautiful too. The cinematography is great. It just really puts you into that world. But before we go here, we do have some super chats real quick from Waylon Bocephus. Gord King, you want to read this one out loud in your best cowboy voice?
Sure thing, partner. Thank you, Waylon Bocephus. One of the most historically authentic Westerns. Yeehaw.
Yeah. And then he has another one from Waylon Bocephus. Vex, you want to give me a Valley Girl one on this one?
Oh, I can't do a Southern one? Okay.
No, do Southern. No. Do Southern.
Okay.
Do Southern. Yeah.
All right. Waylon Bocephus for $1.99. Safe to say Gene Hackman steals the show.
Bocephus. Oh God.
Bocephus.
Bocephus.
Commodus.
Thank you kindly, Waylon.
Commodus. Oh, look. Here's the. Oh, White Bear, give me this in your best gay voice. Come on, White Bear.
Big gay voice. I thought that. I can't help my voice. Cannoli, big mad gay. Yeehaw.
I love you.
This is how this show earns more money. Is we just do voices.
We just do gay voices. And by the way, here I'm gonna give Waylon this.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
I forgot about that one.
You forgot, yeah. And then, of course, for White Bear, you get this one.
A pencil. I know, I've heard the story, sir. I know, I've heard the story.
Fucking pencil. Who the fuck can do that?
Are you double clicking these, old man? What are you doing?
No. No. Stop. I'm old man.
Skedaddle on. Come on.
I just love the fact that Whitey forget about it.
Forget about it.
I forgot about it. You know? What are you doing? What the fuck is this shit?
So yeah, the scroll at the beginning basically explains that about his wife. Like, so you don't know what he's doing in this scene here until this comes up, and it's basically explaining that his wife died and how she was not without prospects. I'll scroll a little bit, but go ahead.
It's theorized that this might be a sequel to one of his former Western movies. I don't know which one exactly. So it's less specifically vague. I don't know if it's Fistful of Dollars or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
One's technically
the
other.
In the ending credits, he does pay homage to Sergio Leone and Don Siegel, so that would be the Dollars trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. So it tells you about how basically his now deceased wife's mother obviously didn't like him because he was a thief and a freaking criminal, and he had an intemperate disposition. Go ahead, Vex. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just wanted to add in because we see he visits her tombstone later, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Tombstone, that's the movie we did.
I see what you did there.
He goes to visit his wife's, and their kids are at least like one of them is at least 10 years old, right?
Oh, easily.
But it shows that she died at age 29, and this
Smallpox.
old geezer, he was slinging some young poon. He's catching all the ladies. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because how they don't mention how old he is in this movie, but if you took a guess.
But just looking at him, like he's definitely over 50, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Weird things happen on Discord servers, you know.
I know Clint Eastwood was 61 when he played the role, so and he
There you go.
intentionally
Early 50s,
he intentionally hung on to the script until he felt he was old enough to play the part.
Well, something was definitely unintentionally hung. I'll tell you that much.
Mhm.
Oh, we have another one. Hold on. You know what, Gooch? You want to give us a good Southern cowboy accent on this one?
Sure can. Wailing. Doing $1.99. Now you guys need to do the great silence. Yeah, giddy up.
Oh man.
Okay, we can't do this show anymore. I don't know
Oh,
what.
man.
What?
The Yankee Canadian.
Oh my! I don't even.
That's a sound
We'll
clip
call-
you got to make right there.
We're
Yeah,
gonna call that
oh.
accent the Kananky accent.
This is me to Gooch.
Well, I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to make you laugh. Amuse you. I'm here to. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
God.
Oh my
it's
God,
terrible.
what's going
Fucking
on with this
terrible.
I don't
Bird,
know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She or just gay.
Screw you. I'm going home.
Why'd you say it like a faggot though? Like what?
Giddy up.
Oh my
I'm doing
God.
Western all night then.
Oh
No,
God.
your Cartman impression was very gay. Give me you guys. I'm good.
I
I was
can't-
going to
I don't know
show
what's-
apparently that's as close as he can get to Cartman.
I don't know what's going on, but whatever. It can only 2 times. I'm gonna go ahead and play the clips. Play the clips. So this is the this is with the beginning. Well, it's funny too because Sassy wasn't watching this with me. I don't know what my buttons are doing. My buttons, I don't know. StreamYard sucks. So this is the beginning. So we're watching this movie and she's kind of doing her own thing, and she hears the beginning of the movie where these two are just humping each other. And she's like, "What the hell are you watching?" And I'm like, "Listen, this is a Western. Relax. it's not what you think."
It's like it's
This
just
is
you
your
winning?
sweetheart. It's
Right.
Billy.
This is the original sex, guns, and drugs and rock and
Drugs.
roll. There you go.
Yeah.
World's shut up.
Yeah. This is a crazy beginning of the movie because these are the 2 cowboys that were just rolling into town, and one of you find out that one of the do we want to call them whores? Is that not the proper term?
I mean, that's what
They're
they are.
whores. They even refer to them.
Work.
Okay.
Yeah, whores.
Yeah.
A horse is a
just like-
horse, of course.
Just
of
like
course.
Gooch. They're whores. And yeah, so one of them actually makes fun of the penis size of this guy, so he just starts slashing her with a knife, beating the shit out of her. It was crazy. Very crazy intro to the movie. And look at this face. That's fucking imagine like this big ugly guy sweating over you with a knife.
It's like Gooch.
Oh, good, Gooch. Did you want to tell us something?
No.
Were you cast? Were you cast?
No.
Okay, okay. Just saying. Just saying. Gooch is like, fuck off, just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is there a silence right now? Hold on.
I know. I was like, this is odd.
The great silence.
Gooch, I love you. Don't send your uncles after me, please. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
I don't think
Gooch.
Gooch found that funny.
It was a joke, Gooch. I love you, Gooch. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this is where they get Little Bill. Little Bill's the shirt. That's Gene Hackman, by the way. Like your guy's right. He is fantastic in this movie, but he's just a great actor in general. I don't think there's a movie he's ever been in that I did not enjoy. But he's Little Bill. So basically, he goes to the whorehouse and he's like, "Hey, what happened?" And I don't know how you guys felt about, like, obviously he doesn't give a shit about these people enough, but he's got to kind of protect them because it's his town. And then you have the person who runs the shithole establishment, Skinny, I think his name is. So yeah, so basically he wants to whip them. And this girl back here, I forgot what her name is, who plays the head whore.
Strawberry.
Yeah. She's just like, what? She just keeps antagonizing Little Bill.
The madam.
So Yeah, and they're talking about contracts and property and like, so instead of whipping them, he actually finds them. Like, yeah, they have to bring a bunch of ponies and horses back like within a certain amount of time, and it was a crazy introduction to this movie. Somebody wants to jump in and think what they thought about the introduction to Little Bill.
Was she something Fisher? That lady,
Strawberry Alice. I think
Strawberry
it's her.
Alice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
just
you gotta-
sets it just sets the tone of like how
he is
gritty and how awful this era was. Really,
Oh,
like
yeah.
there was no law. Everyone just made their own laws, pretty much. It was a gunslinging,
what is
do what you want. I
What
don't
is
know
that?
what's rubbing. I don't
what
know
is-
who's rubbing.
Who's rubbing? Listen, Gord King,
What?
I know you're excited to be part of the show now. You don't have to rub your pumpkin everywhere.
Sorry. I was. I'll put him back over my
Put
chest.
the horse back in the. Put the horse back.
I really,
Yeah, the one
I
thing
really thought that the women were, terrified because they knew that could happen to them at any point. Because honestly, the
Mhm.
whipping would have been pretty fair. Because
Sure.
whippings killed people, as it does to Ned
Yeah.
later.
Oh,
And it
Yeah.
causes massive scarring in the same way, and it caused, that an eye for an eye really would have been. But she was scared, and
Yeah.
so what ends up happening is the woman doesn't get justice at all, and Skinny instead gets a bunch of horses.
Gets horses, they get nothing, and she even says it like, "You're not even going to whip them, at least." Like, and he's like, "No," and that's where he says, "We've seen."
I think
God, sorry.
I think the one thing, sorry, Cannoli, I think the one
No,
thing
you're
we're
good.
forgetting too is like we could never have a movie like this at the like now.
Today, no.
Yeah, like because it really demoralizes women in this. It's like
Oh yeah,
really,
which is accurate though for that time period. Like they,
it is.
These women,
it
these
is.
women are property. These women are full blown property.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, it depends. There were actually areas in the Midwest where prostitutes made so much money they practically owned the town. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one state that refused to come into the United States unless they could come in with the law that women could vote, because women had voted in that state forever. So women,
I loved when you said they refused to come in. That was a good, phrasing moment. There.
Good phrasing for a whorehouse.
Yeah.
there really wasn't another way to put it.
Man, Joe already on here throwing
That's
them
what he
out
said
there.
too.
No, but they did influence a lot of, like, you're right. They did influence a lot of politics back then too.
Oh God, yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I just love the feel of this movie because it puts you in that era.
Oh, dude, immediately, yeah. And this is where they're kind of gathering. So they want. At first, I the first time I saw this, I didn't know what the hell was going on here. I don't know if they really explain it here, but they're gathering money where you think, like, the impression is, are they trying to get out of the town by gathering everything they've made, and then you come to find out, no, they're doing it to hire a set
I
mercenaries.
more or less got that impression because they were talking about the fact that these guys didn't get punished, so they kind of understood, like, at least Strawberry here understands the value of it's like a message needs to be sent. If you do this,
weren't they
what's gonna happen.
specifically warned not to do this? I can't remember by who. Like, don't try anything. They've been whipped.
It happens a little later too. Yeah, when Skinny thinks, like, Skinny finds out somehow about the money, and then he goes to tell Little Bill,
Right. Because he knows that Little Bill doesn't like vigilantes or assassins.
I don't like assassins.
I don't like assassins.
Sassy has, like, Little Bill was a prick. If an actor can make you hate him or her to the point where you just
they're doing the great job.
That's why I won an Oscar. That's why
I always say about the guy, who's the guy that plays Percy in The Green Mile, right? People hated him.
Oh
in that movie.
Yeah.
He was so good.
It turns out he was kind of weird too, but
yeah, he was. No, he was. If the role was perfect for
the kid who played Joffrey in my
Jack
understanding is he had to leave acting because he was so hated after that role.
Yeah, and then he came back for Planet of the Apes later on.
Yeah,
did he? I did not know that one.
to play another dude who was a dick.
Another dick role. Yeah,
so he can only play roles people hate now.
Yeah. But I mean, the times, we were still developing this part of the country. We got from a lot of westerns, you know, like they do establish the fact, like, hey, there's a reason why it's the Wild West. It's because, you know, the laws weren't very well established, and who was who were running things had to do it pretty, you know, ham-fisted. You know.
I love the fact that because obviously, you know, you've got Eastwood's character is William Munny, and his in the ultimate, like, his antagonist in this is Little Bill, which obviously Bill is a short version. It's a short name for William. So it's there's a lot of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of like moral dualities and things like that that go on in this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's pretty obviously
fantastic.
intentional. Of course, the name of the town is Big Whiskey, and what's the thing that turns William into, you know, the bad guy is, you know, alcohol and stuff.
Yep.
So it's like you could argue it could have been on the nose if they had alluded to it too much, but I think
it's subtle. It's done.
They
well.
balance it really, really well, because one thing I love about westerns that Eastwood's in particular is there's always this kind of almost mythological sense to them. You know, particularly ones like High Plains Drifter and Pale Rider. That is still very present in this movie, even though it's probably more grounded than those two, but it still has that going for it.
100%. And I love the introduction to William Munny here, because like the guy who shows up is like, "You're William Munny?" Because this guy's falling over pigs and he's just making an ass out of himself.
Right.
And it's just like, wait. And then he even says it a couple of times, right? He's like, "You don't look like no stone cold, you know, killer." And
yeah, to an annoying amount. I mean, they definitely made the kid annoying in this.
He was obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
Until the ending, like he he doesn't really redeem himself, but he talks a lot in this movie when he's in the scenes. But that's the whole point.
I mean, you kind of know right out of the gate that he's full of it. I mean, like, even his nickname, like the Schofield kid, because it's like you can tell he just gave himself that. It's on account of my Schofield pistol. It's like, okay, so you gave it to yourself. In other words,
yeah,
it's like he's full of it.
So he is the wait. So he knows he's the nephew of somebody that Clint Eastwood's character knows. Is that what it was in this?
Is he
something like that?
I think he's like the nephew to someone that either he killed or was related to somebody that
related
he killed.
to somebody.
I think it was related.
Uncle
he was
Pete.
Related.
Yeah.
Uncle Pete was. So he kind of. So he's there because he has this bounty now for these cowboys that slash the girl. He wants him. Probably because of the family connection, and also because he's got a reputation, right? He's William Munny. He has women and children. So yeah, and again, I like this though, because you see, it's funny because you can tell the hesitancy from Clint Eastwood's character here. Like, I don't do that anymore. He's trying to like convince himself a lot of the time during this movie that he's like, that's not me anymore. My wife changed me. When you know he's probably deep down like, yeah, it's still part of me.
He has lived, you know, he's been away from that life, but the temptation is circumstance, if nothing else.
And the money, like he needs the money too. You know, he's got his pigs have the fever, and he's got young kids, and look where they live and how they live. So he's figuring, shit, if I can get this money, it's a start for them. He does mention that later. So, we have another super chat from Waylon. Eclectic, good. You want to try to? No, you don't have to do a Southern accent on this one. You can just read that out for me. That would be fantastic.
In the script, Mooney's missing a couple of fingers.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I guess they didn't apply that to. I would play you a clip, but StreamYard is retarded right now, so I'm not going to do that. Sorry, Waylon, but thank you for the super chat, my man.
You get Appreciate a yeehaw.
Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Is he? I don't know. That's a good question, Shieldwall.
Which guy? This guy?
This guy? I think this guy.
I think Glenn Powell just has a pretty average look. It's just heightened by a really sensational jawline.
I don't know if he was sucking on a lemon right now. It'd totally be Glenn. I felt that way. I was looking at him. I was like, who does this remind me of?
Yeah.
Are you saying this guy needs to enter the suck zone in order to?
Okay. So now I gotta enter. I gotta make a suck zone clip now for next.
You do, yes, you really do.
Oh yeah. God.
Okay.
$5 super chat. It's the suck zone.
It's the suck zone. If it doesn't play it twice, but who doesn't want to be in the suck zone?
Is there a competition I didn't know about to see how many times we can get suck zone into this run through?
Well, we did Twister.
Oh, it's not a competition,
but we just adopted the suck zone, and it's the funniest.
Irresistible.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's one of those competitions where it's not against each other. It's just to see, can you do better than you did last time?
Yeah,
you can't escape it.
Now I got to go work on the suck zone.
I gotta practice myself.
I'll be back.
Yeah. So the cowboy leaves, and it's funny because this guy is not a good pig. William Munny's not a good pig farmer. He's just not. He
No.
hates this life, but he's got it. He's got 2 kids. He's got to provide. And I love the shot of he's watching the guy leave in the backdrop, and he's just like, oh god, I wish I was going with this guy and fuck these kids. No, I'm just kidding. But you could tell
he tells his kids, that he was cruel to animals and that they're having their revenge on him.
Revenge, yeah. He does. Yeah, he does. So this is when them whores are sitting out doing the laundry. Why is my mouse retarded? This is where the ponies are being delivered. So some time has passed. I don't know how I forgot that they mentioned it was like 6 months.
Spring
passed?
had to be still. It was at spring. So whenever the movie was taking place, it's probably not far from when it happened in the first place.
Happened. Okay.
And also one little detail I guess to point out from when Schofield was talking to him was that at this point the story of what had happened had already, kind of had telephone game had already taken over, and like it had become exaggerated. She wasn't just cut on, like, parts of her were cut off and stuff like that. It was far more brutal.
Yeah, they exaggerate. Her teats. They don't say the word, but they say teats. Yeah. So this is where it's funny that the girls start out of nowhere start throwing a horse shit at the cowboy.
The timeline starts in 1880 and ends in 1881.
Okay.
So it's over.
Probably would have started November, December then.
Yeah.
I find.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say one thing I think's interesting about this scene is the guy who comes to deliver the ponies. He's kind of the other. I mean, he's the other one who's getting punished. He's not the one who cut on her, but he was genuinely trying at least to, make an offering of forgiveness. I end up kind of feeling bad for this guy because it's like one of the interesting questions this movie ends up asking you is, do you think these guys actually deserved what they got? Right. Because obviously the one guy is wild and kind of violent, and this guy seems a little bit more well-mannered at least, and sorry for what he did. I mean, he was actually trying to do something nice for her. And what's interesting is she doesn't speak for the majority of the movie until she meets Eastwood, and everyone's Alice is kind of doing all this on her behalf. She never gets to speak for herself, and you almost get the sense that she appreciated the offer, but then Alice is the one who jumped in and started throwing,
get out of here
at this guy. Every character is morally gray at best.
100%.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, she really seemed like she was willing to take the pony and, make amends with him, because he didn't do anything to her, really.
Right.
And he apologized and was the first one to admit that he'd done something wrong, just by being there.
And he was trying to make an offering he was not required to make. He was going kind of the extra mile. So
and made a point of saying, like, this is the best horse I have. It's better than any of the ones I gave him. It's it's better than any of the ones I'm keeping.
Yeah.
And she steps forward as if she's gonna accept the offer, and it's the other women that kind of drive him off.
Yeah, you can see it in her face. Like, she's like, oh, okay. She wasn't maybe expecting it, but she's like, yeah, okay. Like, at least, like you said, Gordy's trying. And then, like you said, they just run him off. And that's pretty much it for that. All these women have horse shit all over their hands now. Now what? No rubbing tugs for that night, I'll tell you that much.
You know what? I like the fact that she didn't accept the horse, because it just sets a standard. If she takes the horse and forgives him, then it just allows other men to run over them.
Yes,
and they're
exactly.
actually wanting to stand their ground. And I really appreciate that scene.
I can see what you're saying there. I can see that. But I love this. I love how William gets the itch, right? Because he's like, he brings out his gun to practice, because in his mind, he's already made up his mind. He's going right. But I love how he practices with the gun. And anybody who hasn't shot in a long, long time, it is a perishable skill. You will lose you have to train. That's just the way it is. I haven't been shooting in a range in a while. I'm pretty sure I'd be missing everything on that range for a while until you just practice. But
except pedestrians. No.
Well, of course, pedestrians. Depends on who you're voting. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
Whoa.
No, I didn't say it. YouTube, don't take me off. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Yeah, so I love how his kids are just watching him, and he just doesn't give a shit. I love this because this is what I would do. I would go get my shotgun after the pistol was failing and just blow the shit out of whatever's in front of me, because it's a bigger gun, has a bigger spread, and yes,
got a good spread.
Good spread. Oh, we have another super chat from Mr. Whalen. This guy is insane right now. Thank you, Whalen. Who hasn't read one yet? Why? Oh no, Whitebird.
You haven't, Cannoli, actually.
Oh, you want me to do Whalen Bocephus?
Oh my God.
Do it in your creepy voice, actually, because that's more subtle.
Yes, creepy voice.
Yeah.
And I was mad. What the hell?
Whalen Bocephus.
Yes.
Alice used the incident to take her anger out on the world.
Oh, it's crawling up my skin.
The movie does a very good job at removing all the romanticization of violence.
Oh, I love the violence. Giving the violence.
Bless your heart, Whalen Bocephus.
So creepy.
Wow, Cannoli is officially the new long legs.
Suck zone, baby.
We just went to the suck zone.
I am so turned on right now.
Don't remind me of Long Legs. That was a trash movie.
I still have to watch that. Anyway, back to the Western, please. So yeah, he's shaving and he's getting ready to go, and he goes to say goodbye to his wife. This is where, yes, Vex is right, where you find out she was only 29 years old. This dude was slaying some good stuff at a young age.
And she was a native girl.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. I just love, like, so I'm watching this, and
he was the original Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, there goes my channel. I just love this, that he just leaves his kid. Now, I understand the time period. Obviously, this is probably a little more acceptable. But
Yeah, by by those days standard, his little boy is like 19.
Yeah, exactly. But like thinking of this now, and like you got this little girl, this kid. I don't know how old did you just say you thought they were. The boy's probably what, 10?
Probably around 10.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, go ahead and take care of everything and watch the pigs. And if you need help, go find this person and get Robert Redford as a baby here. Just like he's like, well, okay, and they just accept it. That's it. And of course, he can't get on the horse. And this is where he talks about how he's being punished because he was mean to animals in the past. He killed a lot of animals when he was drunk. He was always blaming the whiskey for all his ails. Yeah, see the animal cruelty thing. But again,
holy crap, that kid's way older than I thought when the movie came out. He was like 15.
Are you serious?
Does
not look for.
I mean, I mean, his son's name is just Will, isn't it? Will Munny.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
He was born in 1977.
Wow.
He looks like 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 9. I said 10 years old. And again, I love the imagery of this movie. It's just filmed beautifully. Just the whole open landscape. God, that time period is really, besides the crime and all the bullshit going on, it's a very enticing time. I think Vex would run a whole town if she lived in the West. Just saying.
You gotta hump him 1,000 times.
You're too colored.
Wrong. Give out free ones.
But yeah.
No. She wouldn't take horses as gifts either. I wouldn't imagine.
Whoa.
Horses were pretty good gifts back then.
Yeah, what the hell? Those are
all right,
great
fine.
Horse is a heck of a gift back then.
That is true. That was worth more.
That's
than money.
basically like getting a car.
That's true. Actually, back then, that's true. So this is where Skinny look at his face, Skinny, fucking little weasel. This is where he finds out about the money.
Well, I should have clarified. It's like getting a car that breeds other cars. So horses actually were pretty valuable gifts.
You stupid.
Much less expensive to upkeep as well. You know, you only need water. Doesn't need oil.
That's true.
You know?
No. Well, depends on where you're putting your finger.
And it's a free meal if it ever, tosses itself off a cliff. So
that's true. So this is where Skinny goes to tell Gene Hackman, Little Bill, about what's happening. I love the fact that he's trying to build his own house and it's a complete piece of shit. Like the porch is slanted and the roof is leaking later on. But I tell you, I like the land he's putting it on. It's absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And,
stunning.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a dream
absolutely
right
100%. But yeah, he
But to give
go
you
ahead,
an
sorry.
example of how terrible a carpenter he's supposed to be in this movie, I know a guy who is completely blind who has built his own house like from the ground up by
Yeah. Wow,
himself.
this guy really sucks. Holy shit! Wow, yeah. I just love that. That's the ongoing joke. Yeah, so it's kind of just they're just going back and forth talking about what could happen, and he, like you said, Gooch, Hackman hates people coming into his town, especially assassins, mercenaries. So he's like, oh god.
Honestly, what's interesting about Bill is for the majority of this movie, as mean as he is, he's not necessarily wrong to have this kind of stance against those kinds of people entering his town. He's trying to
I
keep
agree.
corruption out. It's really not until later in the movie that he earns his comeuppance. Because at this point, it's like, yeah, he's mean, but it's like he's trying to think very practically. It's like he's taking a hard line against keeping certain people out. So I'm like, for the majority of the movie, I'm like, yeah, he's not necessarily likable, but he's kind of exactly who you would want running a town like this.
100%.
I was actually going to ask when everyone was talking about how unlikable he was. I didn't find him unlikable, and I was curious as to why everyone else did. I mean, he's a guy who's trying to keep his town clean because he himself was a gunslinger and knows how bad things can get.
Mhm.
And he obviously lacks the social tools to do it well. But his intentions never seem terrible.
Well, no, and that's always a good trick that a movie can pull is that if they're trying to get you to, I think, not like him for what comes later, because what ultimately I think turns, even people like me against him later is what he ultimately does to Morgan Freeman's character, where he basically tortures him to death, and that's where you kind of feel like, okay, you've definitely gone too far there, but what the movie's doing beforehand. Huh?
Doesn't he actually believe that Ned is in fact an assassin at that point?
He does, but does mere belief justify that? That's kind of the moral question:
the
is does
punishment
merely
for assassination would have been execution. So,
well, that's the problem. It's like when you're not holding a trial, it's like you're just
Right.
assuming, well, we think he did it, and that's enough. And like,
I think this
I'm
goes back
pretty
to
sure that's
the.
how things kind of went. It's not like there were a lot of judges.
I think this goes back to the Johnny Lawrence was the hero of Karate Kid, and
Oh, we're doing that again, huh? We're just gonna
Oh, yes, he was.
this
Mhm.
anti-Italian bullshit. I hate you people. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not implying he was a good person. I was just curious as to why people like actively found him unlikable.
Well, the trick I'm alluding to is they make his personality abrasive and mean to make you forget about whether he has a good reason to, treat people the way he does.
Yeah,
that's kind of that's kind of what I'm saying is like all of these characters are gray, and it's really just about what tips the scales for the individual viewer for almost everybody.
It's
Because
not
I
made
think
by
you can make a
the
case for
villain,
liking or disliking almost every character in this.
well, he's almost like he's almost like the governor from Walking Dead. He controls the town. His law is the law. Like it's, I mean, yeah, it's a good law, but like he runs the roost.
For a sec, can we just take this view in for a second, by the way?
And by the way, I think his house, I mean, and this might be obvious, but I think his house is symbolic of, he's keeping the town together in a way that's similar to his carpentry, where it almost, it's like it looks right almost, but it's like there's problems, there's leaks, and it's like something, it's eventually it's going to break down. And he even says later in the movie, where's that line about hanging the carpenter? It's like in a sense, that's kind of what ultimately happens.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what it's saying is he just lacks the tools and the skills for what he's trying to do.
And by the way, Morgan Freeman, God, I not that I forgot he was in the movie, but I love this guy. It's like anything this guy's into, he's just fantastic in for the most part. And I love his addition. Him and Clint Eastwood just play so well off each other. So much his chemistry is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And he's based in real life.
He's very based in real life. Yeah, but he's this is his wife who's a Native American, and she just doesn't say much, but then so Will's going to him to ask him for help, and because he was a great shooter in his day, and he's just again playing it off like, hey, we haven't done this in a while. We're farmers now. When's the last time you even fired a weapon? And whatever. So they're just kind of, but I love it. I just love it because immediately you know that they have a history, obviously, and seeing them together, acting together like this, you could feel the chemistry. It's like you could tell, like they actually act. It feels like they really do have this long history together. Yeah, they just it's so good.
He doesn't join him immediately, does he?
He doesn't want to, but he talks him into it here, yeah, because he tells him what happens to the women, what happened to the girl because of what he's heard, and he's like, okay, yeah, I gotta. That's a word for you, Vex. Cunny. Use that in your next video.
Maybe I can just start saying that instead of the "see you next Tuesday."
Yeah, there you go.
Stop being such a cunny dude. Like,
don't be so cunny. Like, come on.
Does it strike you that this is where, at least for me, this is where his whole thing about I was only a bad guy because I was drinking kind of started to break down? Because if you are only violent because you're drunk and irrational, you don't need a partner for that.
Right.
And you don't need a partner to be.
Well,
like,
that was
he says later, like we've done things for money.
Yeah, that's true. And he always said that it was the alcohol and then his wife. He always used his wife as like, she changed my life. He kept saying like, she turned me around. It got me to stop drinking, got me to. So yeah, like I said, it's more like he's convincing himself he's not this person. He's only doing this for the money this time, like he used to, but it's not the same thing. Like it's a great, and I love this shot, by the way, where he asks him if he has a Spencer rifle and it's just right in the shot above him. It's like just perfect framing. But yeah, I love this. I could shoot a eye out of a bird flying. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah, then he's like, all right, Native American woman, I'm leaving for 2 weeks. Yeah. She's like, good, get the fuck out of here, dude. It's enough. But yeah,
she's definitely not happy about all this because I mean, what's interesting is like you could almost predict his arc versus Eastwood's, just from here because his home life is obviously much more stable. He has his wife. His house looks like it's in better order. Their farm seems to be thriving a little bit more. So he has more to lose. This. He's ultimately of the trio is the purest of them,
100%.
by film's end. I mean, he's not actually pure because he was a killer also, but he's the closest thing to it out of that group.
Yeah, he's definitely the innocent party who gets
that's the truth, Shibwall. That is so true.
And it's weird, like you think to yourself, like, where the hell is this skill with guns coming from? Like, how can you shoot a bird just flying out right? And it's just a desert with guns. You're not gonna do much apart from shoot all the time. So I imagine you'd get good at it.
I think the whole idea is like they've done it so many times. Some people just sometimes are born with the natural ability to shoot, but they've done.
Plus, you got to remember when you shoot a Schofield or a Springfield rifle at a bird's head, you may tell yourself, "Yeah, hit it right in the eye." You blew its head off. It's like you blew that thing to pieces. You're not. It's not just going through the eye socket. You don't use bullets.
Yeah. That's the whole joke. Yeah, it's funny, but I like this part where he's like, I'm missing my home. I'm missing my wife right now. And we all know what he means. But then he has to kind of like, oh shit, this guy doesn't have a wife anymore. And he goes like, whatever, it's fine, dude. Like, I get it. I see, this is what I like about these movies where people will say this stuff here is boring and slow. I love it because the acting is fantastic.
This scene is one of the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
The relationship building. Yeah.
Thank you. The character.
Actually building character.
Massive.
I can't remember what he exactly says. Like, do you think we'll ever forget or something like that? I can't remember what he says, but he says something very poignant about his past.
Yeah. They bring up that a lot. But yeah, I think you're right. It's something to the effect of like, wait, let me see here.
You think we'll ever be forgiven? Yeah,
see, this is one of those scenes where he's saying, hey, she straightened me. He says this a lot. She straightened me up. She did she got me clean and blah blah blah, and I'm not that way anymore. And it's like,
well, you kind of get the sense that because I mean he's not he's not wrong. It's just that now that she's gone, he's kind of having convinced because that anchor's gone. So
yeah,
I think
Don't
like
talk
he
about
feels
anchors.
Huh?
Talk about anchors.
It's like it's
Triggered!
Triggered!
But you know, he's like he's lost the person that he changed for, and now he's like, I think he feels like, okay, you know, he's got to keep telling himself, I'm not gonna be that, I'm not gonna be that,
I'm not going to
gonna
turn
be
back
that.
into
But,
that. Yep.
Yeah.
And I like this where he goes back talking about some of his old crew and how what they used to do and who liked him and who didn't, and like a little backstory there. Like you said, you don't have to do flashbacks, right? It's just well done. You can just kind of mention it in passing, and you're like, you get a picture in your own head. It's like a painting that's starting to develop in your mind of like his past of what he was like before and all the people he was with. So he's reminiscing and talking about that because he's got the fuck's his name with him? The hell's Morgan Freeman's name?
Talking about Ned.
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 Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. Alzheimer's.
The only black guy in the film. Could you please?
sorry, black people. I didn't mean to just. And I dang, this is one of my favorite scenes where this is who was Garfield. President Garfield was shot, right? Assassination attempt, and English Bob.
Google blocking that too.
Probably, yeah. No search results, but I love English Bob. English Bob is funny in this. The guy
To kind of be a dick.
Well, he is a dick. Well, again, yeah. I'm just saying the role.
I didn't even find him to be a likable dick.
He's likable because it's Richard Harris, but he's
when's the last time you've had
absolutely
a likable
jerk
dick? How about that?
Like when he shows up, you're thinking, "Oh, I'm probably gonna like this guy because it's Richard
No, he's an
Harris," and
asshole,
then
yeah.
you know, the more you learn about him, you're like, "This guy sucks."
He's an asshole. Yeah, he's just totally ripping in America and why there should be a queen, and you wouldn't think about shooting a queen or a king and just kind of playing it. And then this guy was funny. This guy, maybe you don't wish no offense, sir, but yeah, he's just pissing him off on purpose. And then he wants to have a shooting competition. And then this guy, the writer, who's documenting it, fucking guy.
I was like thinking, like, where are we going with this? And it's just like, oh.
Well, the movie was the movie's there's a Native American.
Yeah, you got British Bob and you got Jewish Steve over here. And...
you got the Indian in the background. See?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, see? You can always tell by the nose, huh, Whitey? I'm just kidding. God, it's horrible. Fuck. Starting to sound like
he is Jewish though, for real. He is.
No, he is. No,
yeah.
he is. He is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's actually
one
of two. He's one of at least two actors in this that are in True Romance, and he plays a producer in that.
That's right. He was good in that movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's shoot.
I'm curious.
Yes.
This scene, I really enjoyed the character in this scene, but from a movie perspective, it seemed like a whole lot of following a character that never actually has anything to do with the plot.
I think he's there to what in the world? I was like, what's happening?
we're switching movies.
That is so
We're
exciting,
switching.
Lord. Wow.
Sorry.
I definitely think he serves a function because if you listen to the dialogue, particularly when Little Bill's talking about him, because I think he's there to enhance the character of Little Bill.
Yeah,
there's a lot of contrast between when they're talking about him and kind of all the fiction around his legend, and then when they're talking to William Munny, they're underplaying it. Like the Schofield kids saying stuff like, you had those two officers after you, blah blah blah, and you killed them. And then Ned's like, I thought it was 3 of them, and he's like, well, I'm not like that anymore. So they're using him as a contrast to William Munny.
Yes,
and also to enhance Little Bill.
I got that it played off Little Bill, definitely. I just was sort of interested because, I mean, they don't even, if they had started with him coming into town, that might have made sense to me. But I was trying to figure out what the purpose was of the whole train scene, considering that it doesn't really do anything.
Well, I think
for either main character.
It lets you know that he's a dick too.
He's a dick, and he's also a good. This
introduces Jewish Steve, who's like in the rest of the movie as like this guy with like a morbid interest in all these stories and all that to the point where he's willing to put himself in danger.
It's kind of
he's a weirdo. I don't like him.
Well, honestly, this scene actually
is my least favorite character in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the train scene for one thing, it introduces this character that, and all these people have heard of him. So you've got this character who's kind of this, figure that people are aware of, that has a
They know
reputation.
who he
He's
is,
able
yeah.
to demonstrate to a certain extent why he has that reputation.
Good shot.
Because he's a good shot. And then, of course, when you bring him in, that's when bring him into town, and Little Bill starts, deconstructing him. Then they start to use him as a contrast to William Munny. So I think mostly the purpose of this is to kind of give you an opposing figure, the way William Munny's a figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. These shots are freaking amazing. Where did they film this? Actually film this? Was
They
it
filmed this in
Wyoming?
Canada. I think they filmed it in Canada, actually. I think they filmed it in Calgary.
Oh, Vex, you just ruined it. Sorry. I thought this was like the West somewhere. Then no, it's fucking Canada.
Boo!
They filmed it in Alberta. Yeah.
All right,
Southern
this movie
Alberta.
gets a 1 now. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, they filmed a lot of movies. What's the one with Brad Pitt and where he has the long hair? Every girl loved.
Oh,
Legends of the Fall.
Legends of the Fall. They filmed that there. Actually, I was supposed to be an extra for that film.
Really?
Yeah.
You were going to be the Fall.
I was gonna.
That's okay, Waylon. You've done enough.
They originally were going to show him battle a gooch instead of a bear.
Yeah.
You don't want none of this guinea gooch. I like this though, where the women see English Bob. And English Bob has a reputation for shooting Chinamen. I like this, where he's pointing at them, going, psh, psh, psh. It's like Jesus.
What? Are they talking about me? What?
What? Yeah. Like, what's going on? And again, the town. God,
I'm gonna have to watch this with my brothers now just for that part.
Poor Chinaman.
Make sure they're paying extra attention to that.
Yeah, it's like, hey, y'all, watch this. He's like, they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and I again, he comes into town, and of course, the authorities are like, yeah, because there's a sign coming in saying no firearms, which was common back then. And then, obviously, you can see he's got his weapons on him, but he does say we don't have any weapons on our person, right? So he's insinuating
kind
that
of
they don't.
brazenly, they're like, oh, we don't have any weapons.
Whatever.
Wink. Like we give a crap about your laws.
This part was funny because they're all getting ready. This guy right here to the right, he's nervous as hell. This freaking goofer big guy right here is stupid as hell. Like, and they're just all gearing up, loading up their weapons. They go to get Little Bill. Of course, this one-armed guy comes in. So this scene went on for a while, but I thought it was hilarious. It was, I don't know.
Well, because they're also I think part of what they're establishing here is that this is the first time that their town has really faced any kind of like real potential for danger. So they're talking about, like, one of them's talking about how bad a carpenter Little Bill is. And the other one says they're not sure if he's actually capable of stopping something like this. They're like, are all these people going to be too much for him and all this?
Right.
So they're kind of just talking about him, and it's a good way to build up towards like, okay, is Little Bill, is he all talk, or
right?
Is he scared? Is he for real? And then you see what he ultimately does. They're like, oh, he's more than capable.
Yeah. He just is a really bad carpenter.
Yeah.
The worst carpenter ever.
The worst carpenter.
But I love this part. He's like, you got 3 pistols and only 1 good arm, for Christ's sake. It's like, oh God. It's funny. Some good lines in this. And he talks about how he's a bad carpenter, but he's tough and he's never afraid, Little Bill. And it just set the precedent here. But I had a buddy
I think
of
it's
mine.
funny that the guy who knows he's a bad carpenter also is at the same time the one who's like, the idea that Little Bill's scared is ridiculous. He's like, oh, no, he's a terrible carpenter. But they're like, no, he's not scared at all, though.
Yeah, no, he just can't put a roof on a house.
Yeah.
But and then this is where Cowboy Bob, whatever, he's going into English Bob's going into the whole thing. Why, you would never try to assassinate a queen or a king and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, a president.
Still talking about that.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to shoot a president? It's pretty funny. Always a Jewish guy throwing money back at people. Jesus. I'm just kidding. God damn. I sound like Vex more and more every day.
Then he ends up pissing himself,
Yeah. I'm just
acting all badass while he's walking around with English Bob and all that.
I love this. This whole scene here is fantastic because then Bob's like, okay, whoops. And then you got Gene Hackman just kind of sitting there looking pretty intimidating. I mean, he's got all these guys, his deputies around him with got firearms on Bob, and Hackman plays this scene so well.
And I like the fact that because like he brings up, you're talking that king and queen bullcrap on the 4th of July. He's got the American flag waving behind him. I was
on Independence Day.
The ducks of death. Yeah, I'll be shitting fried eggs. And they know each other, right? They know exactly who they are. That's why Bill's probably like, oh shit, because he's like, I can't get over on this guy, you know. But yeah, it's oh yeah, this is what did he say? He's like, I heard you fell off a horse and broke your neck. He's like, I thought I was dead, and I found out I was just in Nebraska. It's like Jesus. But I love this whole back and forth here. And, what do you write? Letters? And I love how when everybody who asks him what he writes, it's like, what do you write? Letters? Even Clint Eastwood does that later on in the movie. It's pretty funny. He's like, no, books. Yeah. So he's his biographer, of course. And I love this. The Duck of Death. It's Duke. Yeah. Then he talks about how he's asking him if he's armed. He's like, I got a peacemaker here and blah, blah, blah. It's just a lot of back and forth. Dialogue's fantastic, though. And again, it's great character development. And I had a buddy of mine watch this recently just whatever, not obviously have anything to do with the show. And he's like, yeah, I thought this part was a little slow. I was like, I don't get it. Like, I was like, this is fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what he's capable of, right? And then the acting alone is just fantastic. The suspense is fantastic. So I don't know. I guess it's not for everybody.
With this scene, there's no heroes or legends or myths.
Right.
Gene Hackman just eliminates everyone down to size. That's basically, I think, the point of the scene. There's no English Bobs here.
No. And I just love this. He's like, the Duke, Bill. And he's like, oh, to me, it's Duck. Even this face right here says it all. He's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking die. He's like, I'm not kidding.
He gets the peacemaker off him, then he knows about his other gun. He's like, I'm going to need that too. And he's like, he's like, you're going to leave me at the mercy of my enemies and stuff. And he just beats the crap out of him.
Oh, God. And I like how this is what he says here. You're talking about the Queen on Independence Day. Let me see if I can show it.
On Independence Day.
He just punches the shit out of him.
Fuck you, Dumbledore.
America.
Women here, especially her, she's like, oh God, these are guys we brought in. And it's like, now we're even screwed even more because if they're not going to be able to do anything. And you're right, Gord, he just gives it to him, man. He doesn't
beats into a bloody mess.
This is the part where it's just like Gene Hackman. Do I really like this guy or not? Not really.
This is what happens when you eat beans and toast as your meals, asshole.
This is just like fully mask off, and it's just like it makes you curious. As to what Bob did exactly, specifically, and that's when you're like interested in what the writer has to say and what Gene Hackman has to sell him. Like, what precipitated these events? What's with this punch?
And that's the whole thing. Like, they have a history, but you don't need it spelled out. You just know they don't like each other, and you could kind of make up your own mind as to why.
They have a history, but he's also trying to make it so unpleasant that it will prevent other assassins from coming in. He's trying to send a message.
Yeah, because he does the same thing to Munny, and then later Ned. It's like, he would have done this anyway, but it being English Bob probably just adds a little bit of satisfaction to it.
It's about sending a message.
Exactly.
But yeah, so of course he's got to grab his hat, and I like this part. This is funny.
Conversation's hilarious.
This was great. He's like, yeah, have you ever gotten any? Because since his wife,
you ever
he's
get
like,
to town? He's like,
use your hand.
Woman.
You just use your hand. Like
use your hand. He's like, I don't miss it much anymore. I got pigs to feed. Yeah, that's true. His kids are like in the same room. That would be kind of weird. But hey, maybe for some people it's not. But this is where they get shot at from the kid, who's a horrible shot, because we find out why in a little bit. But
this kid should have been a carpenter.
I actually didn't notice that Gene Hackman was a terrible carpenter. It's a little interesting detail that you guys keep referring to.
I didn't notice it until I just rewatched it because I forgot.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, that's the punchline throughout the whole movie with him is that he.
Yeah, and like the roof leaks later with him and
Yeah.
Jewish Steve.
Yeah.
The thing I found interesting is that Gene Hackman tries desperately to be a carpenter, and Eastwood tries desperately to be a farmer.
Yeah.
And they both turn out to be terrible at anything except killing people.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
not in their nature.
That's a cheerful thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
it's good.
Everyone else is terrible at killing people too. So is he skilled at killing? It
I mean,
doesn't
he's
seem like
definitely-
it takes much skill.
Well, the way he puts it is
Just a
he's
cool
just
head.
lucky with killing. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all he
Yeah.
says. He's like,
He
I've
says,
always
"I've
been
always
lucky killing people.
Killing folk.
But later on, when he's talking to Jewish Steve about how to do proper quick draw,
Steve.
and like do it properly. Like this, he's being honest with him. He's like, this is fast as I can do it while still maintaining. So he's good at what he does.
There was part of me watching this that I wish Will would have shot this kid for a second because he was so fucking annoying.
Yeah, right. I thought at one point Ned was going to just off.
But
him
he
right
was.
in the back.
It's crazy. He's crazy patient with this kid because I think he knows he's just a kid. He's full of shit. you
Yeah.
know? He's not stupid. So he.
Well,
And he refused to drink earlier. We might have skipped that on
Right.
on the way to town.
Though at the
This
same
kid,
time, he
though-
is not he's not trying to protect this kid either. I mean, he's
No.
He basically he makes him follow through ultimately.
Yeah, that's true.
We gonna say Gooch?
No, I just the kid. It's like I like how they try to the way they portray him. Like he's desperate to find something and gravitate towards something that find his way in life, and he doesn't know what he really wants. He wants to be a tough guy. He wants it just must have been so difficult in that time as a female and as a male because it's wild. It's wild,
what do
Wild
you
West.
do? Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah,
I think-
and he's just trying to go day by day, trying to figure out how do I, manage my way through this. And,
Yeah.
Well, I think that he's supposed to basically represent the old Western fan, the type that would read the novels, or if you grew up watching the Eastwood movies, be that kind of big Western fan who thinks these mythical Western figures, they're so cool, the way they're outlaws and blah blah blah. But when he gets a dose of the reality of killing someone, you see how horrible
It messes
is.
him up.
Right.
Yeah, it messes him
Which
up.
Jewish Steve is providing that that material.
Exactly.
I can't. With
Yarmulke
My under-
Bob. What are we gonna call him? I don't know. I'm going.
My
with-
understanding is that that's really how those legends got started too, was those little dime novels that were written glorifying, actual cowboys.
Yeah, and I like how Eastwood Munny here is like, if he doesn't go, I don't go. So either we split this or we. He's like, all right, we're just gonna leave, and I'm like, whatever. So eventually, obviously, he accepts them in, and God, look at this. I just want you, me, and Vex and Gord just to ride on a horse in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
How about that?
And
Let's do it.
gladiator style, touch the field.
Yeah, oh yeah. Just put rap
Like
music
meet in
behind-
the middle
sorry,
somewhere like Iowa in a cornfield or something.
Yeah, could you imagine? I'll be the one falling off the horse. Like, this isn't gonna work.
Like I don't know, you Canoli, your height, you might need like a Clydesdale or something.
Yeah, I need something big, very big.
You're the opposite of a jockey.
Yeah. I love this though. This is where he's giving him shit. Where Ned gives him the kid shit about his eyesight, and because he's not stupid, because the way he was shooting at them, he was missing everything. I don't know how many yards they said he was shooting out.
Can
of,
you
but
shoot
he
that
was shooting
hawk
everywhere.
Can you see that hawk up there? I could shoot that hawk.
Yeah. He's like, hey, no hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could hit that. So could I. I seen him. Yeah. So basically, what do they figure out that he can shoot really well up close? Like he shoots his cantina
50 yards.
50 yards, and he's kind of useless after 50 yards. Like Eastwood's is like, 50 yards is still good. Like whatever, it's all we're
good
gonna
enough.
need. Yeah. So. Yeah, this is good. This is good. It's good. Like I said, though, it's just like you said, Gore. It's just good character building for these guys. You get a sense of where everybody's at in their head, and I love this. This part is one of my favorite parts of the movie when he's talking to.
So good.
What was it? Jewish Steve Whitey? Is that the? Is that the name?
That's the official nickname, I suppose.
Okay, Jewish Steve. And he's reading about, I love this, the Duke. And he says, I said duck. And he goes into
I think his actual name is
says.
Beauchamp. It's like WW Beauchamp, I think is his name. But we'll go.
Yeah,
Jewish
Beauchamp.
Steve.
That's it.
Fine.
That's it.
Yeah. That ain't
Why
no
do you have-
Beauchamp. That's a Boestein. That's Boberg. Okay.
Yeah, and so he's trying to say, well, there's eyewitness accounts, right? And then he's like, yeah, you can't really trust eyewitnesses. And then he goes, and then he basically breaks Jewish Steve's. I can't believe I'm saying that. Jewish Steve's whole, like he just breaks him down because he tells him the truth, and you could just see he's just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And he sits down all depressed, like, okay, that was all bullshit. Everything that I've written down is mostly bullshit. But I love the backstory he goes into here about talking about how what was it? So English Bob and another guy, like basically it was English
Two-gun
Bob's.
Corcoran. There's that whole story.
Yeah,
There's
there
one
was
with
that whole story.
with the because he was English Bob was sweet on a French girl.
Yeah.
And this guy ended up sleeping with her, and he walked into a bar drunk, and they ended up having like kind of a drunken shootout where he missed, the other guy like his gun
Shot his own
jammed,
foot.
and-
Right. Yeah. Shot his own foot off. And
Uh-huh.
yeah. Oh, Vex, we have a request here from Shield Wall.
Where's my goddamn money?
Beautiful work.
What the hell? You guys yelled at me.
Arthur, I have a plan.
I have a plan, Arthur.
I have a plan.
You got a plan, Arthur.
I have a plan.
Arthur, I've got the plan.
Hey, Gooch,
need
it's simple.
more
Just do
money.
Do better, Gooch. Do better. That's all we have to. That's all we ask, man. You're always welcome. Just do better. I'm just kidding.
Just stop being dumb, God.
Have you ever seen that little clip where it's just Arthur repeating over and over, Dutch?
Yeah.
Oh, that
I
game
gotta
is so
find that.
good. Oh God, I gotta get some Red Dead clips too.
Oh
now.
yeah, and you can
Oh,
get away with the
gosh.
time limit on those ones.
I
too.
know because it's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh God. Anyway, let's get back to Jewish Steve talking about Corky here.
Two
English
guns where he
Bob.
had one who
And
had
I-
one gun and one large
Was-
penis.
His dick is so big. He's like, Judy. Yeah, and I love how English Bob's just sitting there and he's just like, he's not saying anything. He's just moaning
No, he's
in
not going to
pain.
refute the stories because he knows he's been caught in all these
He's been caught.
lies.
Yeah, I love this though. This is some great acting here from Hackman. Like this is why he's such a good actor.
Yeah, Dumbledore did good too. He just laid there and fucking bled. It's great.
Can't with you people. Oh, and Jewish Steve's like, what? Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me,
Muzzle tough.
Is it Passover? I'm just kidding. Wow, we're getting really racist over here. Yeah, I like this part where they're back into the resting. I like this.
Yeah,
where he's
Morgan
like,
Freeman cannot get to sleep. He's like, this sucks. I hate it.
I
out
miss
here,"
my
you
bed.
know?
He's like, I thought you said that last night. He's like, no, last night I said I missed my wife. Now tonight I miss my bed. It's like, it's so
These
good.
campfire scenes are always great.
They're great.
They're always like
They're
a
great.
moment of reflection. Yeah.
Oh
And I love how Eastwood's like, well, you're gonna wish you had your roof too because it's about to rain outside. It's just they're so funny. And then of course this kid won't shut up. I'm just like, oh God, somebody please shoot him. Again, though,
Well,
it's like
I
he's
said,
young.
He's constantly, he's the
Yeah.
Western fan. He's always
Yeah.
wanting to know stories and questions. And He
Yeah.
wants to live up to it.
Yeah, 100%. It's so funny. I just love this.
Well, and this is that part I was talking about earlier where he's telling a story about how he had, two officers had guns on him and he survived them. And then when he falls asleep, well, I think it's a little bit later when they're on horses.
Yeah.
He's like, wasn't it actually 3? And then
Yeah.
he's just like, I'm not that guy anymore.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's
I can't
basically,
recall.
Little Bill is breaking a legend, whereas Clint Eastwood's trying to deny what
Deny
he
it.
is. Which he's
Yeah.
Right.
he's more akin to a Western legend, but it's really ugly.
Yeah, it's bad. And I like here, like even here, he's trying to play up how many people he killed. And one guy came at me with a shovel, and the young kid's probably full of shit, and they even know it. They're playing it off like whatever. You
I beat the Mexican kid with a shovel.
crotchety old hens. There's Jewish Steve, right?
Dad even asks, like, do you think he killed anyone? He's like, no. When
Right.
When they're riding the horses there.
That's great insight, Gooch. Thanks, man. I'm just kidding. I love you, Gooch. Give us
Screw you.
another.
I'm going home.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, it's true. You did say that. I forgot that he actually told him that. So thanks for bringing back up. But I don't know
have,
when you got
like lifeless eyes of a murderer.
Yeah,
As you
seriously.
could tell.
Yeah, 100%. I love this. So he basically, this is the scene where he gives him a loaded gun, and you don't know it's loaded at the time because you're like, "What the fuck's this guy doing, man?" And
I don't know.
he's talking
I kind
about
of suspect that it was actually loaded.
yeah. Well, he was telling him like how to actually in a shoot when you're doing like a draw and shoot kind of thing. It doesn't you don't have to be the fastest because if you rush, you miss. You just want to be accurate, kind of thing. And he gives him the gun, and I'm just like, oh my god. This part was crazy because he's telling him, he gives it to him, and he's like pointed at me, and they go ahead and shoot, and you and Bob can leave. And then you're just like, this guy's fucking nuts. And you could tell.
Yeah, well,
Jewish
the thing
Steve,
is Jewish Steve is kind of, he's like, why did he comply to this? Like, why did he do this? He's just like, okay, this dude has morbid curiosity. He is a sicko. He's the worst character in the movie.
But look at
I know one dude's cutting up
Well,
whores.
I
but
was
this
told,
dude...
I was told in Quick and the Dead that you have to be really, really fast, like ridiculously.
that's what they
fast.
tell you in that movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I love Hackman. Why I love him as an actor is Bob's like, you got to be kidding me here. Shoot him. He's like, please shoot him. But what I love about Hackman, why I think he's such a great actor, because he can go from likable, not and kind of laughing, into just dead face, stone face, serious, and he does it in this scene so well. Because look at his face, like he's laughing. Hey, take the gun, and then he's like, yeah, go ahead, do it, asshole. See what happens. It's like, oh man, it's so good. And he tells him to give the gun to Bob. And you could sell Bob for a second. He reaches for it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna."
Yeah.
Like his eyes here are like, "Yeah, I want to."
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy. Yeah.
There you go.
Gene Hackman also has an amazing ability he'll be smiling with his mouth and his eyes, and then his eyes just go dead.
Yeah, you're right.
Like his mouth is still smiling, but it gets real creepy, like really fast.
He did that in the movie Mississippi Burning, which is a fantastic movie, by the way. That whole
wonderful.
movie was like that. Oh god, he was so good in that movie. But yeah, and I like how English Bob. And then this part was great because he takes the gun back and he starts dropping the bullets out, and Bob's like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! I could have ended this." I'm like, "Oh no." Poor Bob. He's not having a good day.
Mm-hmm.
On Independence Day. Well, that's what happens when your country gets its
If
ass
Bob had taken the gun, do you think he would have won?
No.
I don't think so.
I think he
I don't
still
know.
would have hesitated too much on the,
I
pulling
think
the
so.
trigger and having to aim it through the bars and all that. But, and that's why Gene, ends up telling him, you made the right choice.
Yeah, I would have killed you.
But if he had probably even just taken the gun, he probably would have shot him right there, and felt justified in doing so.
If he did get shot, like how is he gonna explain that? Oh, I gave him a gun and a loaded gun.
Well, there was Jewish Steve, and he was haggling.
Except he didn't. Bob's sidekick got a hold of a gun and gave it to him.
Gave it to him. Yeah. This is what I text Whitey at night before I go to bed. By the way, so
You no good bleeping hick fucking whore.
He has had it with that horse.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done. Yeah, he keeps falling off. It's so good, but the rain starts coming in.
You slowly see him start, going closer.
Yeah, his old instincts are coming back.
Because he said, earlier, I stopped my cussing, because my wife, this and that, I stopped this, and he's about to deny the drink, even though he has a cold going on right now.
Yeah, he's getting sick, and I love how he gives him he's like, hey, take some of this whiskey and it'll make you feel better. Nah, I haven't had a drink in whatever, how many years, and he's like, yeah, okay. And well, we all, I ain't no crazy killing fool. Yeah, and again, they have to get out of the rain, so this Gene's back. This is where I love when he gives English Bob his gun back and the barrel's all bent. he's it's so good. Oh God, look at his face here.
Look at his face.
He can't say anything. He just can't say anything because he lost. He got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
He got called out. He's totally just emasculated here. And then he tells him, "Hey, your writer wants to stay here on his own account," and that's where English Bob goes nuts. You're all a bunch of, and damn you, and the England wouldn't have you, and blah blah blah. It was so funny.
In Hong Kong, you'd already be dead.
Skinny's
Wait,
like,
that's Lethal Weapon 4.
Wrong movie, Whitey. Wrong movie.
I'm sorry.
God damn, dude.
No.
And they're like, oh shit, there goes our like one shot, probably.
Yeah, they're lamented. They're like, nobody's gonna come now. He's done this to English Bob. He's done this to a famous person, and that's gonna get around quick. So nobody's.
There
gonna
goes
wanna
the
do this.
duck.
Yeah. I like how
It's
they-
Duke.
It's Duke.
His little Bill went duck hunting.
Oh my God. Yeah, and there's the town ordinance, which you're assuming they missed because of the rain. Like I think even Hackman alludes to that later. Like, oh, did you miss the sign because of the weather? But yeah. Yeah, this is where the kid comes in up now to find out what's going on. He gets a little they play with his pee-pee a little bit. It's kind of nice for him,
Take some advances.
But but this is great. This is where we're talking about how Little Bill's house, it's raining, he has all these pots and pans out, he's just like, it's a mess. This guy's trying to write, it's like his life is a mess. But when
That's
it comes
not a
to this
curly
house-
J.
Yeah, I like these moments here because, like I said, it just shows you about his character. I know there's not a lot of action happening, but it's just so well done.
He believes his bullshit, though. Like
Yeah.
how he justifies abusing law like this.
Yeah. But and this guy loves the stories, like you said.
Yeah,
Jewish
he's eating it up.
Steve. And he's telling him.
Yeah,
He writes it
but he
here,
does
"Write
make
this
that
down."
one comment. It's like, maybe you should hang the carpenter.
And he's like, "What?"
And his look is both angry and almost looks like concerned
Yeah, like right
or
there.
affronted.
Right
he's
there.
like, oh,
Look
He's
at
like,
that
"You mean
face.
Yeah,
like,
he's
and
actually
then for a s-
wounded.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
for a second, you're like, but first time I ever saw, I was like, oh, he's gonna shoot him. He's gonna kill him.
Now, I thought, man, is he really gonna like freak out that much? Like,
Yeah. I like how the door's hanging off the hinges, not even on the hinges.
It's like, dude, the proof is in the flooding. My gosh.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all over the place.
He's telling him, open a window so I can toss this out, and then finally he just says, like, dude, this is ridiculous.
This is nuts. Yeah, this is where his deputy comes and tells him two guys came back into town. And it's like, oh fuck, this is not gonna go well. But so Clint Eastwood's like, basically, does he have like a cold or is it the flu? We don't know. He's just really sick. But he's shaking and he's got a fever and you look like
the
shit.
1800s is basically he probably almost died twice.
Yeah, it's true.
Probably more than that if he's in his 50s or 60s.
Really, I mean,
Right.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Lego.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's talking about like he had a dream that he saw. What the hell was he? I forgot this part. He saw somebody in a dream that had like worms for.
He's
all the-
hallucinating, I think.
Yeah,
That was his wife.
Yeah.
He's
That was
running
his
a high
wife.
enough
His wife.
fever that he's hallucinating.
He saw the angel of death too later on. I think when he was.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
saw
so he
some-
definitely has more than a cold.
Okay, gotcha.
I think he had pneumonia, but
Oh,
I mean, it breaks kind of quick. I mean,
Well, it's Hollywood.
wouldn't pneumonia typically last longer?
Not Hollywood
Those-
pneumonia.
That's. I mean, you're not wrong about that.
He got whatever
Movie
gave
pneumonia.
Morgan Freeman freckles. Okay.
Movie pneumonia's gone in 3 days. Gord, come on.
Oh, he's got
I don't-
TB. Vex.
Yeah, facts. I love this part though. He's got high plains COVID. I love this word.
Wow.
Morgan Freeman's like, while I'm up there, you don't mind if I,
Take a
my
little
own
personal
advance."
time.
Yeah, he's away from his wife. He misses her. but,
Let
you know,
him.
what the
I'm gonna let those chicks play with my freckles.
hell? Yeah, they're gonna play with his Tootsie Roll.
Y'all ever heard of
Um,
Cookie Crisp?
Oh Jesus! Oh my God, we're going to hell. But yeah. So yeah, this is where he's not doing well. And then Little Bill comes in and just kind of does his thing, like kind of what he did with English Bob.
That sucks,
except now he's not like with Little Bill. He kind of played along with him. Here he's like, you know what, we're fucking done with this now. He's just tired of this shit already, and he's just like, yeah, give me your weapons and blah blah blah. And then he starts beating the shit out of Eastwood pretty good here. Even though Eastwood's like, I'll get out of here. Like I'm not, I'm not drunk. I'm not bothering anybody.
But he keeps on denying that he has a gun and all that.
Yeah.
And...
He denies he has a gun, then he denies that his friends have a gun, and he's like,
right.
I mean, as far as Bill's concerned, he's like, okay, that's it.
You're just one of those.
You're not going to cooperate? Fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
he doesn't realize who he's kicking.
Nadia, we did talk about the suck zone.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of times. Welcome to join.
To the suck zone.
Quick, get Velocipaster ready if she joins.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Nadia.
he calls him by his name here, though. William Munny, right?
Well, he told him his name is William Hendershot.
Yeah,
he doesn't know it's William Munny till a little later.
Right.
Oh, Nadia has no choice. When we do Velocipaster 2, she is on. We'll kidnap her and freaking strap her down to do that stream. It's gonna happen. Oh no, you're definitely coming back. Sorry, you can't hide.
You're in the congregation, like it or not.
Yeah, second best movie ever made.
This will be church discipline. We're bringing.
I haven't seen the sequel yet. Nobody has, but it's already the best movie, second best movie ever made.
So does this mean that when I do the Evil Bong series, you guys will join me for that?
I mean, when you put it that way, yeah. Of course. Yeah, you're a cowardly soul. He just basically calls him out and just beats the shit out of him. Like it's pretty wild. But he's a weakened William Munny, and he's still trying to kind of compress all that his past, right? So he can't do anything. He's dying. But I love how again, Hackman is just. Was Hackman nominated for anything in this?
He won.
He did win.
Supporting actor.
Okay,
Best supporting actor. Best supporting actor. He won.
Well, thank you for telling me that.
Rightfully so.
I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, Eastwood was nominated for Best Actor. He did not win, but he was nominated, and this won Best Picture.
It deserved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, this is and this is the girl who got her face scratched up, and she's like, "Oh God, no! Why is this happening? No more violence."
Scratched up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Knifed up, bro. Knifed
up.
up.
Yeah. Like scratched.
I mean, as a member,
Jesus,
as a member of
twigs, and it's like,
right.
She's got some nail scratches on. Okay, Gooch.
I mean, look, as a member of a particular race who gets carved up every fall, I mean, I'm pretty empathetic towards.
Yeah. Guys, listen, I'm in the UK. All right, I'd recognize when someone gets knifed.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh, poor.
That's what the K stands for.
Poor True Pop. I love this how the guys are coming out of the whorehouse, like out of the window, and just falling out of the.
Yeah, she pushes Morgan Freeman right down there. Push the freckles.
Yeah,
right
you
off
know
his
where
ass.
you belong. It's 1878, buddy. But yeah, they gotta go get Will. Yeah, Will's like. He does get up and finally gets on his horse, but barely. He's like barely hanging on to the horse. Nadia, it's gonna happen.
I already did it. Check the chat on the YouTube side.
Oh wait, hold on.
We
That's
got
what
to
happens
take
when
a
you-
cat from this film.
I agree with Whitey. The blasphemy against Velocipaster is what caused the COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
Bless it.
Nadia, when you Vex is a mod. You can't go there. You know. I don't want to start banning people, but you know what? When you're talking about the last pastor, I don't want to hear it. Oh, God, look at that smile. That sinister smile from him. God, so good.
The last 17 snitching groupings he'll ever have.
Take it easy, girl. She got to work. Oh yeah, this is where Little Bill goes in and just slaps her in the face because he's just tired of all this shit, and he's like, "Oh, who else is coming?" And easy,
Like,
Bill.
no,
I gotta
Little Bill. if Little Bill wanted to fix this problem, he'd shut down the whorehouse.
Don't make
Right?
me scratch another girl's face.
That's where all that county money comes in, which he tries to spend later. You know.
I mean, it's like, Bill, it's like, if you want to know one of the leaks in your roof, it's that you're letting this whorehouse run. It's like if you'd taken take the money, tell them you're all not welcome here anymore. Bye-bye.
Listen,
that's
Sassy,
it. Problem solved.
If Nadia would just fall in line and admit that Velocipaster is the greatest piece of cinema ever made.
One of us.
Hold on. Who's Nadio? Who's Nadio, though? Hold on.
Isn't
She's
that
talking
like
about a different person.
That's the Italian version.
Nadia. Hey, Nadio.
Nadio.
Oh,
she's adopted her own Guido.
Nadio killed the video star.
Poor William Munny. Yeah, and Ned's just like doing the patching. He's giving him stitches. That looked like it fucking hurt, by the way. And I like how is this kid's name Little Bill? Fuck,
no,
not Little Bill. This kid,
Schofield kid.
Schofield kid. Schofield Kids is like, have you done this before? And I like how. I don't like, but you can see he's like, this guy's weak. He's just a pig farmer now. Like he's a nobody, and he's trying to play it off like this guy's washed up.
Is he gonna die? He's probably.
Is he gonna die from?
I bet he dies.
Well, he's looking at someone. Like I said, he's looking at a Western hero he idolized. Appear weak, and it bothers him. It's like this bugs him. He's like, this is not what I read about.
By the way, that dialect was almost as good as mine, Whitey. Just keep it up, bud.
Yeah. Well, we want to reach.
I'm sorry.
levels.
Which one did I do?
Every word that comes out of your mouth, Whitey.
Is he making fun of the way I regularly talk? Is this some Tennessee hate? Oh my god.
Gooch is so talented. He can. I don't know who's talking sometimes. Whitey or Gooch? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, you know.
Or Whitey's Gooch. I don't know.
Whitey's Gooch, baby. Yeah. This is so good. So the girls are coming for their advances again, and he's like, "Yeah, by the way, after your cunny's gone, we need some more food and drink."
That is the worst way to put it ever.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
So bad.
It's so bad. Gooch, comment? You want to throw in some accent there? You good? No? Okay.
I just did. Didn't you just hear me?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know who's who anymore. It's so confusing to me.
You bastard, he's taking my voice. Every time I speak now, he's like, no, I already talked. What are you talking about?
Oh, God, I love it.
Was that Whitey or was that me?
We'll never know. We'll never know.
You better super chat my channel later, bastard.
Yeah, this part was crazy because this is where he's talking about seeing the angel of death, and he's like, I'm dying, and then he talks about seeing his wife as well, and Snake. So he's thinking he's going to hell pretty much because he's dying and all the bad shit that he's done.
I'm dying, sister.
Well, this is kind of like he is dying because
he is.
He's trying to live that.
Wait, is this Whitey or is this Gooch? Who's talking?
Hang on.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's Whitey. Like she forgot the safety word.
I don't know what's going on, boy.
Gooch, let me talk.
Oh my God. See you, Jacob. Thanks, buddy, for stopping by, man. Have a great night.
Later, dude.
See you, buddy.
No, I like this because it's like he's dying. Like he's actually not actually that, but he's dying. That trying to live the faithful way that that his wife's taught him, and the way they portrayed like seeing his wife with worms all over her face, saying, like I think it's like he knows he's going to hell for all the sins he's done. So he's just like, this is kind of like he dies and then comes back reborn as the old
William Munny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good observation, White Bear.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Some maple syrup, yo.
What is going on? Some maple syrup, yo.
You guys like hockey? Yeah.
Hurry up! I gotta go get the hogs ready after this.
Let's talk about some animation.
Oh God, I'm sweating. I'm laughing so much. God. Oh, it could be because it's 140 degrees outside too.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh yeah. So he tried. Yeah, this is where he's like, I'm more of a killer than he is. He's pathetic. I hope he dies. Look at me.
I hope he dies.
I feel like his disappointment in meeting his hero is sort of like my disappointment every time Mark Hamill tweets.
Oh,
yeah. That's a great point. Oh, it's so bad. Yeah, this is where the girl who got scratched up, Whitey or Gooch, whoever the fuck you are, she comes to visit him.
It is but a scratch.
Just a scratch. But this is right. This is like the only real time she talks. I mean, a little bit
are
in the
you
beginning.
an angel?
Yeah. Are you an angel? If you want your dick wet.
I mean, that's my stage name.
Yeah. But yeah, he's coming to. He's feeling better. And
Look like I look just like you, like a
Yeah.
startup fucking whore.
Like she's like, oh. He's like, I didn't mean no offense by it, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But you know what? I like that he is very respectful to her, especially when she gives him food.
Yeah.
He's, you know, because she even offers, like, hey, I can give you a free one too in advance. And he's like, nah, I got my wife and her worm
He says,
eyes.
you know, would you like a free one? And then he's like,
Yeah.
no. And then she's like, well, I didn't mean with me. You know, I could call Alice or something. It's like, no.
I was explaining this to my wife, yesterday, and I was just like having to explain how Clint Eastwood was telling her, but if I did want a free one, I reckon it'd be with you.
It'd be with you. I'm gonna use that on Sassy now.
Dude,
you want to give me
you
a
will
free
get
one?
laid 100%.
Right?
You somehow managed to turn into a compliment. Yay.
Yeah.
I like it when they're missing a few HP.
I know. Again, another beautiful shot here. So it's,
hey, quick! I
Oh,
forgot to
beautiful
mention,
landscape of Canada.
Yeah, fuck Canada.
Way earlier, they were the story of what happened to Scratchy McCoreface kept on getting bigger and bigger every time that somebody told it. Like, they done took out her eyes, and then the next time it was like, they cut off her vaginal lips and flew them away like a big old pink coochie bat. And then the next time, I mean, the story, the lore gets hardcore, bro.
It's like that woman's. It's like in Scary Movie. It's that woman's hat every time they cut to her. It just gets bigger and bigger.
They threw Vex Electronica's cats on her face and shit went down. I've got a plan.
Oh my God!
Just, Dutch.
Take my good hand. Take my good hand, child.
It does seem something, though, that even though these women are prostitutes and even though they're kind of looked down on otherwise, these guys who consider themselves hardened killers are really horrified and, really want to avenge women they've never met for being badly treated.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They've been taking advances on the payment. That's how I pay Whitey for the eggs that he ships to me from his farm. Wow, Hawk Tua, baby. I need 2 dozen. All right.
Spit on that thing.
Spit on that thing.
Spit on it.
Oh, brilliant.
yeah.
We'll give you a TV show and a podcast show for that.
Yeah.
Just for that.
She was on Bill Maher the other day, and it was like one of the highest viewed shows. I'm like,
No,
it was awful. It was
terrible. It was an off. It was. I turned it off after 5 minutes. I couldn't stand it.
I will not do that one. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Who persuaded Bill to think that was a good idea?
Well, he
I'm real disappointed in Bill Maher right now.
Yeah, it's like
Bill Maher, any kind of female that he's gonna have on. Like he's been a hound dog ever since he was young.
He talks about it on the show too. a lot.
They had that swimmer girl on there, that Grimes girl. I think
Oh,
her name.
yeah, Brittany Grimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Brittany
you went from Brittany down to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
I think Hawk Tua is probably better than Brittany Griner. Pretty ugly.
I think they meant Riley Gaines.
No, and Riley Gaines.
Oh,
No,
Riley
yeah, Riley.
Yeah, no, that's the girl.
Vex. They said woman.
Yeah,
I heard Brittany.
Not Brittany Griner.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Am I deaf? I'm sorry.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
they did. They said Brittany Grimes, which I'm like,
Oh.
that's
Yeah.
a cross between Brittany
I have
Griner,
no
Riley
idea.
Gaines, and Leanne Rhymes.
I'm mixing up my Hawk Tuas, damn it.
God damn it, that's what happens. All these.
That's what
accents,
happens
I
when you
can't-
spit on that thing. The name gets smudged.
See, look, this is where he says, "If I was to want a free one, it would be with you." Aw, a compliment. I'm gonna. whisper
That is
in
so
Sassy's-
creepy. I'm sorry, but that's really.
I'm gonna whisper that in Sassy's ear. Hey, honey,
Yeah.
if I want a free one, it would be with you.
Well, he goes like, "You're not as ugly as me, but I'm an
Yeah.
ugly
So
son
you're
of a
not
bitch.
ugly.
But if I wanted
He
a
said-
free
he-
one,
He said you're not ugly like me. I mean,
But that's how he feels about like how bad off he is, with his
Yeah.
old ways. These
Right.
these guys were bastards back in the day, and now that
Oh, yeah.
they've been over like 10 to 13 years since they've done their last of killing, and so now these are like their only allies.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
destitute and Jewish Steve,
Jewish Steve. Yeah, and he,
You gotta say Jewish folk.
he mentions his wife and like she's still alive.
Yeah.
I like this though because he says to his kids, your mama's spirit's watching over you, and here he's like, yeah, she's watching over my kids. So that
They
was kinda
easily
cool.
could have took this and made them have like a quick little love scene and stuff like that, and it
Mhm.
would have taken away from the character, really.
Oh, it would have been
No,
horrible.
That would have been really gay. Yeah.
Horrible with a W.
Scarface. Oh yeah.
It would have been a
Oh.
weird trope in a movie that's tried very hard not to have any tropes.
100%.
Yeah.
and then they
But,
did this
I-
Gunsmoke trope.
Yeah,
Say
I
hello
mean,
to your little friend.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
they
he
did
goes-
really well here.
As this scene, as well as the other gunfight, really shows how killing isn't cinematic.
Right.
It's just
Right.
like, pew, and he's dead.
yeah.
It's kind of scary in a way. 'Cause just that's all it takes. He just bleeds out
One
horribly
shot.
like that, and that's
And
all
yeah.
it takes.
Yeah,
There's
dude's over
nothing
there.
cool about it. There's nothing dramatic about it. It's just that.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like 10 close calls and you're hitting everybody with a headshot with every bullet.
Right.
It's
John
it's
Wick
like
style. Yeah.
one shot out of probably 10 to 15 between the
Yep.
two sides hits.
Yep.
And the guy bleeds out horribly. He was probably the most innocent of
all of them.
the two of them. I mean, it's like he's
Yeah.
You
it's
are the
essentially
company
really-
you keep, Gord. Okay, you are the company you.
Are you?
Keep. Look at
what
us.
are you telling me?
Oh, you're
Oh,
screwed now.
oh.
Oh, your reputation's done now, buddy.
You got
But,
to see
uh,
that
And the guy,
Oh, go
the
ahead,
guy
Barry.
who's been spending the whole movie talking about he could shoot the eye out of a bird
You won't shoot?
overhead
Yeah,
misses and shoots the guy's horse instead,
Yeah.
breaking
Yeah.
his leg, and
Yeah.
then can't
Finish
like
it.
put him out of his misery. Can't finish him
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, because he looks at him and he's just like, I can't. And they're like, what's wrong? What the hell? And he's like, I just can't do it. And kind of feel
He's like,
bad for him. He's,
I hate Kentucky racing horses. What do you mean?
yeah, and they're like, get to the rocks. And then Clint Eastwood's like, I've never been a good shot with these, and he does get him. I think on the third shot, I believe.
Gets him on the last shot. He hits him in the stomach. Yeah.
Thanks, Gord. I appreciate you.
And like
Yeah,
you
there's
said,
a whole
He
thing
gets him
about
on
how
the last
gut
shot.
shots are the worst.
he only has like when he gets the rifle, he's only got like 3 or 4 shots total.
Yeah.
And it takes all of them and hits him in the gut.
This kid
then
in the
he's
background
over there.
is like, is he shot? Is he
Let him
dead?
have
Is
some
he-
damn water.
Yeah, get him some water, damn it.
This part,
Yeah, that-
honestly, it's pretty upsetting because it's.
Yeah.
I mean, they're showing kind of how ugly this whole like killing a person is here, but also kind of buried in the context is the fact that okay, this is William killing somebody without it's like he's not drunk. It's like he's just killing someone. He's killing someone
Yeah.
for money. Like the alcohol can't be your excuse here. I mean, it's
No.
pretty dark. This is pretty dark.
He's gone to a dark place. He's been reborn, and he's in a dark space now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're seeing.
Yep.
Since he broke that from that fever.
Slim, get me some water.
Yeah,
Slim.
it's like this is pretty tragic.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible.
Do you feel like he has been reborn? Because it seems like he would have taken the time with the prostitute if he completely.
I think.
No.
I mean, I think he's on the downward slope. He's now.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's not like instant. It's like a gradual, being reborn.
I was gonna say his willpower, but that's a little too much of a joke, I guess.
Oh God,
But he has at least resolved himself to definitely get the job done.
I didn't invite you on the show for bad puns, man. You're supposed to be better than this.
Wait a minute. Are you mistaking me for someone else?
Yes.
Are you not aware of my legend?
I was trying to be nice, God. But yeah, this is. You're right. It is horrible. It's like because it's like pop culture. It's True Pop said it's not cinematic. This is probably what it would be like. It's just,
but
it's a horrible
it
thing to watch.
It doesn't phase Will.
No,
like it phases the other two.
Right.
Yes.
Like the what's his name? Schofield Jim. Or no, Schofield
Kid.
Schofield Jim.
He's Jim.
Jewish,
Jimmy, little
Jewish
Jimmy.
Steve,
Little
Schofield
Jimmy. He's you could see the panic in him. Like, did you get him? Did you get him? Like, he's like, all over the place. Like he's
frantic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to shoot Schofield Jim by the middle of it because he kept on saying, "Did
How
you
many
hit him?
names
Did
do
you
these
hit
people
him?"
have?
Not enough, bro.
Yeah.
And
So
then
basically,
Ned's
he's
over
just
here
like,
flipping out.
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go back to my Native American wife and all over the house. But yeah, he's like, here, take your stuff back. I'll give you your cut. Like at least he's like, I'll give you your cut of money. I'll find you.
And the acting right during the fight when Ned just finally gave up his rifle, he said, "I can't." Like
Morgan Freeman,
that
dude.
was good acting at that moment because he looked like he seriously had tears
in his
like
eyes.
he
You
was
could see it in his
panicking.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, and then but he gives it back to him and says, "I can't use this." And then they catch him because he has that rifle.
Yeah.
Which is if he would have kept it.
Yep.
Yeah. He might have had some deniability there.
Mm-hmm. Oh God. There's little Bill in his house. He's on the roof again. I'm making some repairs. Yeah. And then this is where they kind of come up with the plan once he knows what's going on about how to find them. And they're going to go to all kinds of lengths to get these guys now because
There's only so many places that
they can
the
hide,
guy who's the target can hold up. So they're like, okay, that's probably where they'll go. It's not necessarily difficult to discern where these guys are coming from.
Doesn't somebody throw a brick through the window here? Yeah, you bunch of whores.
Murdering whores.
Yeah, Strawberry throws it back out. Yeah.
Yeah, he had it
always
coming.
the mouthpiece.
Yeah,
always.
I kind of agree with. I think it was Waylon who brought up that she's is kind of using this to take out a lot of her likely pent up frustration. Like this is.
Well, she ain't one of them millionaire whores. If that were true, the name of the town would be Strawberry. Another Red Dead Redemption.
There's a town up north here called Strawberry. So maybe she stretched her goose all across yeah. So this is where they find the hideout, and they're just kind of waiting and to find the main guy.
Just waiting for him to come. They're just waiting for him to come out to take a dump.
Yeah. And I like how he's like, I'm not afraid. I'm protected. And there's like a fat guy sleeping on the cot, snoring. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, that guy's really going to protect you. Oh yeah, this is where poor Ned, man, he gets a raw deal, man. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
how do they even find him at nighttime?
Oh God, the racism is just like no stereotypes. He's a white man from Tennessee, people.
Well, they didn't necessarily find him at night. They could have found him a little. They found him further from here, so it could have still been light.
I think it was
when they did that.
light, and then he smiled.
We don't know the exact time, but again, it wasn't. There's nothing cinematic about his capture. It's just like, hey, we caught one of them.
Yeah.
I
like how he's like,
boys.
Yeah, he's gonna let off a big shit. Sorry. What's up, Gooch? Or was that Whitey speaking? I forget sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. You're good.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You're good.
What are you talking about? Yeah,
Get
Newport
off my
Ned's getting
couch.
whipped. It's so bad that you hear the whipping across the whole town. It's like, oh god,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, what do you mean
They,
one
they-
of them?
they didn't have insulation back then, I guess.
Ooh, good catch. I never even thought about that.
Waylon, don't bring that up yet. I was gonna save that for
Oh
later.
god.
Didn't even spit on it first. He just
Son of
put it
a
right out there.
gun. Yeah, look at the horrors. They're looking out like, oh, this poor guy. And he stops it like he just stops and he's like, so he basically lied to them kind of about the information he was giving. He gave the wrong names and stuff. Is that what that's what happened here, right?
He's giving them the wrong names. He goes, well, before you said this, and he mixed them up, and he says, I'm gonna go talk to them whores, and when their lies don't match your lies, I'm gonna hurt you, not gentle like before.
Yeah. He probably screamed at Leroy Jenkins, man.
Leroy
Leroy Jenkins.
Before we carry on, it looks like True Pop has to bounce out. It's really late where he is, by the way. So I
4
appreciate
a.m.
you, True Pop.
Yeah.
4 a.m. Yeah, you want to shout out anything before you go? And thanks for coming. Hey, you want to give us your final thoughts on the movie and a score, and then shout out whatever you got coming up?
I'd say easy 8 out of 10. Like going through this like bit by bit does remind me, okay, it could have been quicker. The pace is definitely off. But there are some really poignant scenes to it, and definitely one of the best westerns out there. Especially with that ending. So yeah, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. And as for promotion, I recently did a live stream on Deadpool and Wolverine, so you guys can check that out on my channel. Didn't particularly like it. Was kind of disappointed with it. I'll be honest. So yeah, you guys can check out that live stream.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Your information's in the description in the show, of course. So please check it out. Subscribe.
Thank you.
Good dude, puts out good content, man. And then yeah, thanks for coming on the show, dude. I appreciate you staying up late.
Oh, no problem. It was it's always a pleasure to discuss any movie
Cinema.
in particular. Martin Scorsese would definitely call this cinema. Anyway, it was nice to see everyone. See you guys later. Bye.
All right, buddy. Thanks, buddy. And then Shield Wall too. Thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate you. Have a great night. Get some rest.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
I've talked to Pops and True Pop in the same day, so who really is true here?
You'll never know. You'll
The
never
one
know.
with the Pulsar 7. There you go. Whatever that was.
Oh god, yeah. Waylon brought up a point here, and I did watch. Actually, yeah, Morgan Freeman was scared. That's actual real fear.
Gene, I mean, let's be honest. Gene Hackman,
he's intimidating.
he's a pretty scary guy in a lot of these movies. He's intimidating. There's such an earnestness with the way he portrays
100%.
like menacing
100%.
characters. It is hard not to be just like taken.
I'm gonna
aback
blame it
by
on
like
him and the Marines and all that back in the day.
Dude. Yeah, and I love this
I
part.
mean, he's one of the best actors ever, and
Oh,
he
he's
rarely. It was never extra. You know, he
no, he didn't have to overdo it.
He managed to. He doesn't have to do all that much extra to disappear behind a part.
100%. But I like this part here. He's very calm. He's like, when I get them whores over here and their lies don't match with your lies, I'm not going to hurt the women. You know, it's like, oh, that's fucking vicious, dude.
And I could absolutely believe that Gene Hackman enjoys whipping people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I could see it. Yeah, this.
I also think it's funny that the back then, you know, slapping a woman wasn't considered hurting a woman. It was just like, no, you just do that. That's just whatever. I don't like. I'm not hurting her. I'm just slapping her.
Wants your fucking head.
Like he slapped Strawberry Alice earlier, but he's like, well, I would never hit a woman. It's like, it's because back then that's nothing. You just do that.
Yeah,
I don't know. All I could think of was I'm not hurting a woman because if I do, they're going to put out $1,000 bounty on my head.
You get some assassins after me. Yeah, I like how this part was great because the kid finally gets what he wanted, and then he hesitates for a second, like, do I really want to do? Then he does it. But
you know that was a really good shit though. That had to be like the
oh,
best.
easily.
Like, he was dropping a Pringles can out of that thing, and he was like, "Oh my goodness!" And
Yeah. Imagine when he opened the door. Really, he was like, "Oh, I can't shoot this guy. I have to back away from this."
Well, he was just. It was like that true moment of both. They're both hesitating. Like, that dude thought he was a badass at one time, and suddenly, he's just, caught in panic, and then he can't really shoot him yet. He's like, "Oh my god, he done shit."
Then the smell from the outhouse hit him, and he was like, "Whoa, he's attacking!"
Whoa, I can't do this. Yeah. So they get away barely, but they do, and then another great shot. I love this scene here where he's talking the kid down the whole time because he keeps like talking. Oh, I really shot him 3 times, and was that what it was like in the old days?
Conversation in the movie is here. This is my favorite conversation.
And you see Eastwood's just like watching what's coming because he knows somebody's is coming. You see them, and he's just like, "Yeah, kid, whatever." Like playing it off like nothing.
He's letting the kid get his shit out because the kid's full of adrenaline, and finally just take a drink, kid.
Yeah,
it does wonders for your voice.
It'll turn you to sound like me in 20 years. Yeah. Then this is where he tells him it was his first shot, and he gives a great line here soon where he says, "That's the funny thing about what did he say? Killing someone, you take away everything they have and everything they ever will.
Killing a man, you take away." Everything he's got and everything he's gonna ever have.
He's gonna have, It's crazy. He's like, take a drink, kids.
The kid's like, well, I guess they had it coming. He's like, we all got it coming. I'm like,
it's so
but he's
true.
just basically he's being disillusioned to everything he thought was so amazing and admirable and legendary about these figures. It's like he's seeing what that life really is and what killing a person
all
is.
at once.
He's getting everything.
This movie respects the concept of killing more than you could argue almost any movie ever.
Yeah,
it understands the gravity of killing someone.
So did Rambo 3. God.
Yeah.
Did anybody notice how completely unsurprised William is when he says it's the first guy I've ever killed?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's like, yeah, really? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. His surprise is coming here in a sec.
If he's like, oh really? Schofield Jim, I didn't see that coming a mile of fucking way. Farther than you can see, you dumb dick.
Yeah, this
he
is the
says
part
we'll
where
give
they find...
Ned's her share, and then she's like, Ned share, what do you mean? And this is heartbreaking. And I'll say this, I wasn't even trying to catch this, but one of just this subtle moment of acting when he hears that he was caught because of being accused of what they did, when he's kind of turned to the side and he starts to take a drink, there's a tear rolling down his face, which you could very easily miss. And I'm like, gosh, Clint, well done.
I didn't see it.
It's barely even in the shot. It's just you could just see the glimmer of it.
You got to really
go them for putting that in.
Yeah, it's fine because that's his buddy. Like they had this history together, and now he.
And it's his fault. I mean, he took him in and convinced him to do this, and Ned didn't even kill.
No. And the way she's telling the story too, like she's frantic because she's like, oh God, he just kept telling these, and he did tell them who they were at the end because these fucking guys getting whipped. It's like eventually you can only hold out so much,
there's no musical cue or extra camera work to show that he starts drinking. He just takes it and starts drinking, and you're like, he's going to that place. Whatever we've been hearing, we're about to see it.
Yeah, that
and even just his demeanor has changed. Like his demeanor's changing already. Like you're starting to see that figure, come back to life.
I'm coming back.
Yeah. Activate money mode. Here comes the money shot.
Yeah, he even tells the kid because the kid's even like, oh, I don't want to die. He's like, don't worry, kid, I'm not gonna kill you. You're the only friend.
Yeah, like literally, like this is the way he's changed. Like this kid's like, oh, am I gonna get killed?
Yeah,
like, he's scared. This guy's actually starting to come back.
Yeah. Well, plus the girl, even says like because Gene Hackman's character is like, you mean William Munny, who killed, so and so women and children, and so he's hearing it like, okay, yeah. Then he sees his demeanor and he's like, oh god,
Yeah,
this
it
guy's
seems like he
fucking
shot a U.S. Marshal, and this
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and he did, he blew up this thing, killing women and children. It's like you're hearing all these ugly things. It's like, oh crap.
Yeah. And then this is where he sends them off.
I think too, as the audience, like we imagine that he killed a lot of men when he was in kind of drunken sprees, but to then hear that he killed children, I think gives a real sudden change in our impression of what he was actually like.
100%. Important.
Yeah, you see, like, I love that you see the empty bottle tossed out in front of him beforehand.
Yep.
So he's been drinking like as he's been on his way here. So that transformation has come like, and just gosh, the usage of the rain and the thunder and lightning.
It's
like,
it's fantastic.
It's like we've descended into a Western legend, but it's hellish. It's absolutely hellish.
Yeah, we're gonna go chase after these guys, and I
two
love
shots per person on the county tags
again.
And
Yeah, and I love this where you just see the shotgun come up
see
slowly
that gun
as he's
come
talking.
in.
And again, Gord's right. There's no extra like over dramatic music. It's like just subtle. And
this is just atmosphere.
So
and you're watching, like you've literally watched a guy. You're watching a guy walk into a crowded room of people who are planning to come after him. Like, I don't give an F. I am killing.
Look at
it's
this.
like I'm here to kill at least one of you, but I'll get however many others I can.
Dude, look how badass this shot is here. It's
right.
Oh god, it's so good. This is where Sassy was watching like the last half hour with me, and she didn't even speak. Like she normally she was like, it's not a hard plot to understand. First of all, so it was I could give her a quick rundown. She was just in awe of what was happening. I was like, yeah,
like no joke. First time I watched this, like I was literally like on the edge of my seat and barely breathing.
I
was like,
right, dude. I didn't expect any of this at the
This
ending,
is one
like
of the
last-
greatest movie endings
And
ever
it's so good.
put to screen. It is
Yeah.
perfect.
And I love how he goes after Skinny first because it's his establishment. He just
He's like,
blows
who
him
owns
away.
this? Doesn't even tell him why he's doing it. I mean,
Yeah, I
granted,
bought
we
it off
know,
of Mr.
but
Greeley back in the day, and Bob, shut the fuck up.
He should have armed himself. And,
great line.
When he
You
decorates
just killed an unarmed man. He should have armed
Yeah.
himself.
He should have
decorate
decorated
the outside of his place with my friend.
Fred, yeah. And then he goes, "Oh, you're William Munny, women." And it's funny too because they were saying like Little Bill still wasn't scared, even though he knows William Munny's reputation.
Well, he's not scared because he
No.
kind of his confession at the end that I don't deserve this. I think he's been believing that
believed his
almost
own
like in a
hype.
sense that he's almost a legend in his own mind. There's no way
Mhm.
he'll go out like that.
Mhm.
I think he believes that.
I love this. He's telling the guys, "You guys better back away." And he tells him, "You fire that thing," and he's only got one shot. You take him down like the maniac. I love the verbiage he uses.
Yeah.
And then, Then he just boom. Oh no,
I
there was a
think
misfire. Sorry, guys.
I think he actually did feel like if he went out that way, he was going out cool.
Yeah.
And that would have been
that's
fine.
what I'm saying. I think in his mind he was like, if I go out, it won't be
It's
like
getting
a dog.
shot
It'll
on
be
the
like a man.
It's the getting shot lying on the floor that I think was insulting to him. This misfire fascinated me because everyone's waiting for the bang to
Right.
shoot him. The misfire is ironically what saves his life because it catches everyone off guard and everyone just goes, "What?"
Stops. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
Clint
picks
really
up
knows how to edge the audience.
Edge me, baby.
But
He just-
when he says I'm lucky killing people, like he's really serious because that's the one time where not killing someone saved him.
Any man
Edging him
don't
with
wanna
that
get
Eastwood.
killed. Go out the back. So you see, like, there's a lot of people still in this place, and he's like, anybody who doesn't want to get killed, go out the back. There's a lot of
Hey,
people
shoot,
just
kills
run out
like
of there.
guns down 5 of them.
Yeah.
And Jewish Steve here is like, yeah, he's like at first, like he's telling him, grab that rifle. You're like, oh, he's gonna kill him. He's making him arm himself. He's like, oh, he's like, oh, load the rifle. I'm gonna use it. That's all he's doing to him.
Yeah, I didn't
just,
know what
just like Little Bill did before, though. He told him to grab the gun, and he's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Exactly.
Jewish Steve's like, man, this is too much for me. Oh God. Yeah.
They could have got Woody
you
Allen
I
to
mean,
play this.
this would be terrifying.
And I like this. You, what do you write? Letters and such? He's like, no, books.
It's like you've been hanging with Little Bill. This is Big Bill. This is William. Put some respect on that name.
Oh, no kidding. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, it's done well. It's done very well. Even the lighting is done well here because it's just, oh man, it's so good.
I love this line he gives him. He's like, it's asking me, who'd you shoot first? Who'd you shoot next? He goes, all I can tell you is who's going to be last. Then the irony is that, he means Little Bill is going to be last. And he's basically, it's kind of his way of saying, it's like, look, I'll kill you next if you don't get out of here. Little Bill's going to be last. But the funny thing is Bill's not even the last one he kills. There's another guy dying as he walks out and he's actually the last one.
Yeah. And I like, and again, because of these weapons they're using, like Bill he can't surprise him. He's got to cock his gun. And then, that's how he gets caught. He shoots him.
I don't deserve this.
Eventually. Yeah, I just love I'll see you in hell.
Deserves got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I'll see you in hell, William Munny. Yeah, that's great. And he just blows his freaking head off, man.
And then he goes and shoots Italian Tony over here.
Hey, Mario.
Yeah, bam.
I was thinking I was going to call him Canadian Craig, but either way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he was talking with his hands,
There you go.
And I love how he warns everybody. He's just like, I'll shoot everybody, and I'll come back and go after their family.
Mistreating,
he tells him, he goes, if you're out here, I'll shoot you. And if you take a shot at me, I'll shoot you and your friends, and I'll burn your house down. Like, dang.
Yeah. Just imagine what he's got to tell them.
And literally rides away on a pale horse.
Riding on
right in front of the American flag while the rain's just pouring down. And his big message for the movie is, stop hurting whores.
Yeah, don't be hurting women.
I'll burn down your houses.
And you better bury Ned right. I'll come back and kill every one of you.
He's got to go tell Ned's wife, man. Oh god, that's got to be heartbreaking. But yeah, and they're all watching, like, oh, he did it for us.
I think I would really wonder what's in some of their, like, oh gosh, what did we do?
Yeah, what did we do?
Yeah, what did we turn this into? Yeah, I like how they all watch
this
it.
town now has no law.
Yeah,
whatsoever. This town kind of screwed.
Half the male population is gone.
Yeah, they killed everybody basically. And here's where we get the ending where it's basically just a retelling. But he so basically not really. What he's saying is that he came back, said goodbye to his wife, and the mother-in-law came too, right? To say her goodbyes, but nobody
visited
was
after
there,
they
right?
had already left. He had taken them to
They
San
left,
Francisco. He basically took the money, he prospered on dry goods, and the thing, and basically, like, it says that she never knew why her daughter would marry a thief and a murderer.
Yeah, well, makes sense. Yeah. Oh, and there's the last shot. Oh, and I love how he just disappears and it's all just gone after all that, and that's Unforgiven. So, what a beautiful movie! What a beautiful. Effects is
Did you know that there's supposed to be another scene?
Sorry.
There's a scene they cut at the end where he
I didn't know
comes
that.
back and he greets his children, and his son says something about, so, you didn't kill anyone, right, Pa? And he kind of grits his teeth and he's like, nope.
Oh.
I'm glad they cut that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also know that this is slightly based on a true story. Not the name, but it's based on a character.
The character?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised now with that timeline, and places like Deadwood, where 1 year they had 12 murders. It was a high murder rate. Wow. Well, for that time, for those small
isn't
towns.
Isn't it like loosely based on like John Harden or something like that?
I don't know the name. But I know it's based on,
like, he was a pretty bad killer from back in the 1800s.
He was a bad man.
Hang on. Yeah, John Wesley Harden.
Oh, interesting.
He only lived till he was about 42, but he actually, it says he's the most prolific killer in the West.
Ooh.
Now, and it seems like it's only, they think it was inspired. The screenplay they think was inspired by him.
but they don't know. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess Effects is awake.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
there's
I'm here. Hey.
I know you got trivia, right? Yeah.
I do have trivia. Yes. All right. So this movie had a budget of 14.4 million. Worldwide, it took home almost $160 million.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good to hear a Western did that well.
Yeah. I couldn't find a whole lot of like the week by week box office stuff, but it did come out August 7th, 1992. Domestically, it debuted at #1 with a $4.6 million opening day. And it actually knocked out Batman Returns from #1.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this was shot in 39 days, coming in 4 days ahead of schedule. The town had to be built very quickly with a relatively short run-up time of 2 months to start the filming. The stunt coordinator used the construction period to work on actors' writing skills and stunt choreography.
Nice.
Clint Eastwood and screenwriter David Webb Peoples didn't set out to make an anti-violence movie. Eastwood said that he was interested in deconstructing the myth of the Old West with its clear distinction between heroes and villains and wanted to show an inglorious depiction of death.
Oh, they did.
They sure did, yeah.
In 2004, this film was added to the U.S. National Film Registry of the Library of Congress as being deemed culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant.
I agree.
Okay, so I did find the box office dailies.
Okay.
I just find this fascinating because the last day it made its last day that it made over $1 million was like the 36th day of release, which I mean that's impressive.
Wow.
This movie's theatrical run was 343 days.
Nice.
Nice. Very nice. I love when you could just go to the theater and watch anything. Right now, you have 2 weeks. You have to go see something in 2 weeks, or you gotta
You're
wait.
right.
Yep.
I just got done watching A Fish Called Wanda, and
Great
that did not hit #1 until it had been in the theater for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
yeah, same thing. It just like things were around longer, and
Wow.
it took them longer to hit #1.
Yep. So true.
Oh, sorry.
Go Indian woman.
The movie laid to rest Clint Eastwood's long-standing statement why he would never win an Oscar. I had to add this after you told me.
So
that, Eastwood reckoned he would never be in the running because, quote, "First, I'm not Jewish. Secondly, I make too much money. Thirdly, and most importantly, because I don't give a fuck." Since his double Oscar win for this movie, Eastwood has gone on to win 2 more Oscars, as well as an Irving Thalberg Memorial Award, and has been nominated an additional 6 times.
Nice.
Nice.
And well deserved.
Definitely.
And this actually ended up being the 3rd Western ever to win the Best Picture Oscar. The 2 others are Dances with Wolves back in 1990 and Cimmerian in 1931.
Very nice.
The script floated around Hollywood for almost 20 years. Gene Hackman read and rejected it, only to later be convinced by Clint Eastwood, who had owned the rights for some time, to play a role. In the early 1980s, Francis Ford Coppola got the script and met with John Malkovich to offer him the role of William Munny. Malkovich recalled, quote, "The offer was not very serious, thank God. I said that for myself and for the poor public, and for Clint, absolutely. I would have been a total failure. Total. Who would have wanted to see that? I wouldn't. I wouldn't have just been acting schmacting. There are some things that you can only have that kind of mythic figure, which Clint is." Malkovich worked with Clint Eastwood later on in 1993's In the Line of Fire and in 2008's Changeling.
By the way, In the Line of Fire.
Nice.
In the Line of Fire is fantastic. If you
Fucking
haven't seen
peak. It is so good.
It's a great
so
movie.
good.
man.
Love
So
that
good.
movie.
Excellent movie.
Frances Fisher, who plays Strawberry Alice, said that David Webb Peoples' original script was one of the most perfect she had ever seen, as it read almost like a novel. She illustrated this with the fact that while most scripts are full of later revisions marked by red ink in the margins, this one hardly had any. One of the very few changes that Clint Eastwood made to the script was to remove the opening voiceover and replace it with text.
Interesting.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get this name really wrong. Although the
God.
score was arranged by Lenny Nejos,
Yeah,
the
we'll go
main
with that.
okay, the main
Manejos?
theme maybe the main theme was actually written by Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting.
Clint Eastwood's mother, Ruth Wood, toiled through an uncomfortable day wearing a heavy dress as an extra, filming a scene where she boards a train. However, the scene was eventually cut, with her son apologizing that the movie, quote, was too long and something had to go, end quote. All was forgiven when he brought her to the Academy Awards and thanked her prominently in his acceptance speech.
Oh,
Yeah, good.
Good for him.
This was shot in Calgary, Canada, which was experiencing unusually dry weather during filming. Most of the rain was created on site. The snow that falls when William Munny is recovering from his beating was unexpected and unscripted.
Wow. Talk about perfect timing.
Yep. The boots Clint Eastwood wore are the same ones that he wore in 1959's Rawhide. These boots are now part of Eastwood's private collection. In 2005, they were loaned to the Sergio Leone exhibit at the Gene Autry Museum of Western Heritage in LA. The boots basically bookended Eastwood's career in Westerns.
Wow.
Nice.
Morgan Freeman learned about this movie from Kevin Costner while filming Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in 91. Freeman approached Clint Eastwood afterwards and immediately got the role of Ned Logan.
nice.
Nice.
And I have one piece of casting trivia.
Oh, please. God.
All right, it's only one name, but there was
No.
one other person who was considered for the role of English Bob, and no,
Swear-
it was not Christopher Walken.
Damn
why
it!
Why do you do this to me?
What the hell?
I don't-
I'm
I
going
don't care
home.
anymore.
Wow.
You know, a queen. You know, you don't want to suit a queen.
Oh God.
I kept
Sorry,
that
Max,
queen
go
up
ahead.
my ass. What's up?
No, just see if you can take a guess. Menacing
know.
voice, foreign maybe, British a twinge.
Why can't I think of anybody right now? I got
What?
Very
Is he
big at the
older?
time too. Yeah, he's older now.
92 British actor.
Brosnan? No.
Nope.
No. Oh,
Brosnan
no, she
was way
said-
too young.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know. Why can't I think of anyone?
What's it rhyme with?
When she says the
that's
name, I'm
terrible. Okay. Jeremy Irons was considered for the role.
Oh,
Wow.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. He was too young back then, though.
No, I think he would have been the right age still.
No, he was too young.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's a bit young. Yeah, he would have been a good deal younger than Richard Harris. I think he would have been an interesting choice.
Yeah. They
But,
could have
yeah.
folded him up, but did you see him in Die Hard? He was a fucking beast.
I think
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I think having Richard Harris being, you know, kind of the age he is adds to the menace of Gene Hackman when he's beating on him. He's beating up an old
Yeah.
man.
It shows a history there without even mentioning history.
I mean, Irons,
Yeah,
I think, still could have done it really well, though.
It almost made me forgive Lance just for being British. That's how bad he
Oh, Jesus. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, actually, Irons would have only been in his 40s.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He would have been old enough. He could have pulled it off.
Well, I mean, Richard Harris, though, was probably in his like 70s or something at that point. So he was
Anthony
born in
Hopkins.
1930, so he's about 18
Yeah,
years older.
yeah.
He'd been been in
Wow.
his 60s, I guess. So
I mean, I'm upset that it's not.
Irons would have been great, though.
Irons is a great actor. Yeah. It's not Christopher Walken, but it's
One of
I
the
just
most
don't-
criminally underused actors of all time.
I don't see him in a
Absolutely.
Western, though. I love Jeremy Irons, but he's not in a Western.
You don't think he'll fit in a Western? Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure he's done a Western before, not as a main character.
Jeremy Irons in a Western.
Because I feel like I've seen him in the wide brim hat and the outfit in something before. That's why.
Maybe
Was
in
he
your
in
dirty
Appaloosa?
dreams.
Oh, he was in Appaloosa. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched that movie all the way through.
I was going to mention Anthony Hopkins, but he would have been too young there, too.
Yeah, he would.
I don't know if I
And
Waylon said that too.
getting beat on like that.
yeah,
No.
you cannot do that to Anthony Hopkins.
Man,
It
that's-
was, it was almost too much.
He's a national treasure who does. He's not even from here.
It was almost too much that that freaking Joe Black tried to kill him off and all
God, that movie.
You
That movie.
can't
Don't
hurt
even
Anthony
start. Don't even start with that fucking movie. Oh my god. Oh, meet Joe Black. 3 hours of nothing. Anyway, is that all the trivia? Was that it?
We did get to watch Brad Pitt get hit by a car, though.
That was
and it was
one,
so
one
well
of the
done.
funniest car hits.
It was hilarious.
It looked real.
Yeah. Well,
looked
I don't
so-
know. Yeah, but that movie was just. Anyway, back to this one. Thank you, Vex, as always. Great trivia.
My pleasure.
Like that was probably the funniest person getting hit by a car scene until like Wish Upon a few years ago.
It's true. All right. Well, I guess we can go around the horn, give the final thoughts, grades. Gooch, Whitey, whoever you are, you want to give us your final thoughts on the movie there, sir?
I love this film. It just it brings you into that world and how evil it was at that time, because it was. You didn't know what was around the corner literally each day. So for me, this is a 9.5 out of 10. This movie, like the choreography, everything, the setting, it was just the lighting. The lighting was really good too.
Excellent.
It's just a beautiful film. I just and I really, really like Morgan Freeman in this film.
He's always good. Usually, I mean, that guy, he's such a good actor. I agree with you. It is a fantastic movie.
Just a lot of ebbs and flows. Like it just you got these cocky moments, and then you see these emotional breakdowns where they just can't do it. Like it's really, really well written.
I agree. The Eclectic Goat. What about you? Your final thoughts?
I would agree. 8.5 or 9 out of 10. I still think there were a couple areas where it could have been tightened up just a little bit without losing anything. But I'm literally talking like, minutes here and minutes there kind of thing. Gene Hackman definitely. It's funny. Like Clint Eastwood is the rock of the piece, and then Gene Hackman is like the actor Steele of the piece. But I can't even think of a supporting character that isn't great. Like even the supporting characters do an amazing job.
Yeah.
The lady who gets cut up only like talks once, and yet her body language even is perfect through the whole thing. And you can spend so much time just sitting there, what does that facial expression mean? What does her body language mean in this particular spot? And it's one of those great movies where you could discuss the gray morality for ages without it being kind of rammed down your throat as to what the message is supposed to be. So
That's true.
Great movie.
Yep, I agree. I'm so used to Gord King being a guest. I'm like so weird. Hey, Gord, give me your final thoughts, Mr. Co-host.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah. It's funny because like if I were judging this like just on pure entertainment value, I might like knock like a half point or so off because it is sort of a slow burn, but at the same time it's like I can't really think of anything I would want changed in it. And it's one of those movies like the first time I saw it, there kind of was a pretty decent gap between the first time I saw it and the next time I saw it because it is a bit of a slow burn type film. But now that I've watched it a couple of more times, and I'm more familiar with it, it's grown on me so much, and it is so thematically rich, and just there's so. I mean, like I would have to nitpick it to death to even find enough to knock it down even a little bit. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's a Western masterpiece. It's not necessarily my favorite Eastwood Western, but when I give something a 10, that's what it means. It's a masterpiece.
I'm kind of in shock.
I'm calling it it's like 10 for me just means it's a masterpiece. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but this movie's dang close to perfect.
Yeah, it's damn good. I agree. Vexington, what about you, lady?
I give this. Well, I didn't get to fully rewatch it, but what I did rewatch about the first half, I quite enjoyed. I very much enjoy how they choose to explore the relationship building between everyone. I like that they show us rather than just saying what the world is like and what these characters are like. Very much like the cinematography. Love the music as well. So I'm going to give it a 9 face slashes to a whore out of 10.
Jesus.
You mean
Yeah, let's do
scratches,
that.
right?
Scratches.
Scratches, yeah.
Screeches.
I forgot to say 10 William Munny shots out of 10.
There we
Stitches,
go.
baby,
Oh,
stitches.
there you go.
There's something so
You
wrong
made
with you.
biscuits on my face.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it.
Stop. You beautiful white bear. Go ahead, Betty. Tell me what you think.
Well, I was just about to say that I mean, you guys know that, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about X-Men 97, but it doesn't compare
That's
to
me.
anything.
That's me.
Then we're going to be exploring the epic universe of Titan A. It's movie thing. But anyways, I think it was good. Sorry, I just heard a sound on my roof. Oh, what was that? Okay.
My roof.
Okay. My roof. Okay. But honestly, I think it was. I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. How to lose your N-word card and having the only black friend in the desert, and you lost it. You dig dumb. It has finally dethroned. I don't know. I still love the fun of the movie Tombstone, but it is realistically the best Western I've probably seen, other than Open Range, just because it's fantastic. But it's a great movie. I was not expecting it. There was so much stuff I wasn't expecting about this movie. The last 20 minutes, per se, of just how much he goes off, and how much you get to see his past come to surface, and it was bad fucking ass. So I love it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm kind of it's nearly a perfect movie. I think I'll give it a 9.5. I'll throw horse shit at your face on a horse out of 10. It does almost everything just right. I don't know. I'd have to really nitpick if I want to give it explain why, but we've been here long enough. Why I only give it a 9. It's a great movie. It's one of my favorite westerns. Rewatching it this weekend was a pleasure. It was a nice change of pace coming from the Wolverine movie. Whether or not you liked it or it was good or bad, it was just that's a chaotic Marvel. It's this was such a nice thing to watch, and it got me in the mood to play Red Dead 2, which is fantastic. Because not that you need an excuse to play that game, but it just adds a little something extra. So yeah, it's one of the best movies, pretty much in that genre anyway, that I've ever seen. So it's great. So that's it. Wow.
I would respectfully disagree with that. I mean, granted, those are both great movies, but I would respectfully disagree.
Oh, with Waylon here.
Yeah. I mean, Once Upon a Time in the West is pretty dang close to a 10 out of 10 also, and it might be a 10. I'd probably have to rewatch it. Great Silence, I'd maybe rank just a tad lower, but that was also
they're both
excellent.
good movies.
I know that one's a little fresher in my mind. So that's all.
Well, another fantastic show in the books. Let's get everybody out of here, especially the Canadians who need to sleep. Gooch, man, you beautiful, sexy Italian man. I know you have 85 streams, so just want to run them off for us. What you got coming up?
Well, just swing on by for Diabolical Souls Presents for X-Men 97, Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, definitely check out Gooch's show. He's killing it right now, and he's running through the gamut of all the best animated stuff, and yeah, it's awesome. Good stuff over there. His information's in the description, so please check him out.
That was way better than Price's Reason.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah. He's a swell guy. He's a swell
guy.
He's a swell chap.
Price is such a good dude. Eclectic Goat. So besides the name change, you had a video come out recently, and you want to shout out what you got coming up? What you have had out recently?
I recently put out a video on unappreciated 90s television. There's also an addendum because the show Lex was so insane, it just wouldn't fit in with the rest of the video. So it just kind of got its own little tag on the side. And then this Friday, if the universe doesn't totally implode on me, I'm sure this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but this Friday would have been my Nana's 99th birthday. So I am going to do a quick video covering her 3 favorite movies.
Awesome. That's nice. Yeah, awesome. Definitely.
And this is why I watched A Fish Called Wanda. that was her favorite movie. That was her favorite movie of all time. Tootsie, Heaven Can Wait, and A Fish Called Wanda.
Oh, 3 good movies.
Fish Called Wanda's good taste. That movie's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, all 3 of those movies are good. Yeah, definitely. Check her Eclectic Gloat out. Subscribe. Information's in the chat and the description. Oh, Gord.
And thank you for having me.
Of course. Anytime. All right, Gord, go ahead. Shout out your pumpkin dictatorship bullshit.
Let's see. Tomorrow I'll be seeing Deadpool and Wolverine. Then when I get home, I'll probably do a live stream of some more Mass Effect gameplay.
Nice.
Thursday, I'm going to be on Roman of the Empire, and we are talking about the movie Them. It's
oh wow,
the one about the ants. I haven't even watched it yet, so I'm going to have to make time to watch it. And either late this week or early next week. In fact, I might even do kind of the Vex thing and do a premiere right before MMM next week. I'm pretty sure I'll have my In a Violent Nature Poorly Explained video coming out.
So in a poor nature is what it actually is.
It's like, well, on a violent nature walk.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Looking forward to that. I know you've been working on that for a while now, so of course.
Really, honestly, I haven't been working on it that long.
It seems like it has.
Whitey kind of encouraged me to go follow through with that idea, and that was maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and it's come together kind of fast.
Good. It's a one-time Whitey was right. Good.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, definitely check out the Gord. He'll be here every Monday now, but of course, check out his other content. The gaming stuff's fun. So, Vex, I think you had a video come out recently. I don't know. I heard about it.
I had a Deadpool and Wolverine video come out earlier tonight. You can go check it out if you don't mind spoilers. Tomorrow, I will be actually on Latino Slants channel because
nice.
Just talking more Deadpool and Wolverine, unfortunately. So, but that's going to be apparently a one-on-one because he's pitting me against someone. So,
nice.
Yeah.
You like being pitted.
You've entered
No,
into
I don't want to talk
Wolverine
about this
suck
movie.
zone.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.
I know. I think you've said everything you needed to say all on social media, in chats, and then of course in your own video. I think I can understand why you're burned out. Yeah, but check out her video, of course. It was really good. I'm gonna rewatch it so I can actually fucking pay attention to the beginning of it. But from what she always puts out good shit. So
thanks,
thank
buddy.
you.
Thanks.
Of course. Skedaddle, White Bear,
Citadel.
Oh,
Skedaddle.
Commodus. Tell us what you got coming up, Commodus.
Well, tomorrow I'll probably be streaming on Twitter doing something. Probably just keeping it
Judging your mama.
I'll probably just do some Stardew Valley. Can't get enough farming in real life, and also apparently in video games. So I'll be doing that and probably working on a video for this week. Check out the video from last week if you haven't already seen it, and on Wacht Bear 2. And check me out on at the Twitters, and much love. And hey, thank you, Waylon Bocephus, you big donating son of a bitch, and also just putting out a lot of good information out there. So thank you very much for that.
That helped a lot. Yes, check out White Bear and his beautiful southern. Well, I don't know who White Bear and Gooch are anymore. They sound so much alike. It's just ridiculous.
That song that he has playing in his his more recent meme videos. I swear that was like living in my head this weekend. I was going through his stuff again at work, and I actually really find that song catchy.
It's great.
Right? Wait, was it on the last Kamala video?
it was the I think it's like I meme it was that one.
Oh,
You've used it on a
okay.
couple of videos, but I like that song.
Yes, and then as far as my stupid little channel, we're back next week. MMM, we are doing an animated feature, so we're pivoting to animation. We're doing the Iron Giant. I'm looking forward to that. We got Gooch again, Stupenzo, amateur analyst, and Kada on that stream. So that's actually
Maybe we should just make Gooch a panelist at this point. He's also here every week.
Yeah, what the fuck, Gooch? You know what? You're right. We might as well. But we're gonna have to change a lot of thought. I just fixed everything. Okay, we could add Gooch on. We could add Gooch on.
You just fixed everything, my nigga.
Hold on. I fixed the intro and outro stuff all weekend. I'm just kidding. It only took me like 3 minutes.
Need to fix your fucking StreamYards.
Yeah. Listen, I think I did actually.
See if you can play the suck zone. See if it'll double it up on you.
Oh, it'll double up the suck zone, all right.
I mean, worst comes to worst, we hear him say suck zone multiple times.
Hold on, I have it up here. Let me see it. Oh, it said I can't play it, Whitey. What are you sending me?
The suck zone, apparently.
I got it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know what? It won't let me download it for some reason, but I can still play it. Hold on. Let's see if this works. Then we can all go bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Suck zone.
All right, here we go. Here we go. That's not the suck zone, man. That is not the suck zone.
Would you? Would you not?
Hotsquatch.com. What the?
Suck zone. That's the point. Basically, at which the twister sucks you up. The suck zone.
I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that. Sorry, Whitey.
She's the richest actor in the world right now. You know that? She's worth $8 billion.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she divorce Elon Musk or something? What
Right.
She's Jewish.
Okay.
And the second richest one. The second richest one is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So I mean, I'm not saying there's a pattern, but it's because I don't have
a pattern. Yeah, there's a pattern.
And that's fine, by the way. That's
well, that's basically it. Thank you again. Yes, thank you, Waylon, for the beautiful super chats and the information. You got suck zone tonight, buddy.
You got suck zone, sir.
You're loving it. Thank you to the guests, of course. You're amazing. Everybody in the chat's amazing. Let's get these people off to bed and good night. And we love you, and we'll see you back next week, of course. And that's it.
Suck zone.
Suck zone.